bum, 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 bum. Ooh, we are live. We are live. I always get caught off guard when that little red light shows up in the left hand corner. This is gonna be a good show, man. This is a Wednesday night. It's a Pontificators night, coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. That's where I do all the magic, my comic book magic here. And this is also where I never leave. This is my prison. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, we got some great subjects for you guys. Great topics. We got a good bunch of guys that we're gonna get in here. A bunch of pontificators, and they're gonna give you their hot takes on. We got three topics. One, we have the DC Zack Snyder shooting his mouth off. Basically insulting the fan base. That dude, I don't know, man. I was gonna say I have a love-hate. I just hate that guy. So that's my hot take. Show's over. See you guys. No. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna see what everybody has to say about Zach shooting his mouth off. Also, Paul Stanley, there's a follow-up on it. He was talking about the transgenderism and stuff like that, and we'll briefly talk about that. And then I want to wrap it up with Marvel talk. I want to see what the guys think about. Does Marvel have a future, a cinematic future? The Guardians of the Galaxy is doing okay, but is it okay? Is it doing well enough to sustain them into the next phase, especially following up with the Marvels? So we're going to get into that, but let me see who's in the chat here first. Connect, see what's going on, and then I'll let the guys in here. I'll open the gates. I'll let the dogs out, as the song says. Bub66, hail! We got Clint Helinski in the chat. What's up, Clint? Bub66 says, where are the white women at? My white woman is downstairs hanging out with the dog. Wait, Bob's in the chat. Man, I got to get these guys on the show. Sup, freak bitches? Yeah. We got Joe Bernardo, Mr. Supportive. God, I don't know what I'd do without Joe. Joe is really, really supportive of CG and everything I do. So thank you. We got Late Kick One. Hello. Jerry Rasco. Hey, folks. What's up? Wait. I saw. Wait. Where was it? The chat just jumped. Comic Borgs. LOL. Let's go. Wait, Rob Hunter's in the chat. What the heck's going on here? Here's BA Turner. Sign up for the what is that? Vigilantes Creed on Indiegogo. Yeah, do that. Go do that. Do it right now. Do it quick, and then come back. We'll wait for you. Well, let me get into introducing the guys, my Pontificator brothers from another mother's. Without this guy, we probably wouldn't have a show. So this is the guy that keeps things going behind the scenes, and it's Mr. Todd Rooney, Mr. Dooney.
How you doing, Art? You look great, by the way.
Oh,
amazing.
Thank you.
It's your vodka in the background.
Yeah, my cheap vodka that you pointed out.
Vodka.
In the green room. I don't know. I think it was a leftover from a party. I don't even think we bought it. Yeah.
It's like the RC Cola of vodkas.
RC Cola is great. How dare you, man? It's better than Pepsi.
Okay, let's call it the Shasta of vodka.
Shasta blows chunks. Do they still make Shasta Cola? I don't even know they make that.
I don't know. You'd have to go to a Piggly Wiggly to find out. Because
we don't have any Piggly Wiggly. I've never lived in a place that has a Piggly Wiggly. Yeah.
No.
That's an actual place?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Florida, Georgia, Piggly Wigglies, yeah.
Do you ever go, hey, honey, I'm gonna go make a trip to the Piggly Wigglies. Do you need anything?
Never. We don't even have Wawa here in Massachusetts. It's ridiculous.
I've never even heard of Wawa. You guys are weird. The world's weird. We have a supermarket. It's called HEB here. It's like it's the be all end all of all supermarkets. This thing is like 3 times the size of a normal supermarket, and they have great food. Man, look at these guys. They're all bored. I'm looking at them. Maybe I'll make them wait longer. What do you think, Todd? We make them wait longer? We got a show to do. We got a show to do. Well, this guy right here, he's got a live campaign going long, going strong. Mr. Superior. He used to be known as Mr. TNA, but now he is Mr. Superior. Clint Helinski.
Yo, gentlemen, what's
Very
up?
impressive campaign, artistically, by the way.
Artistically, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I want to help it.
Yeah.
To be like
it could use more attention.
But artistically, it's great. You're doing like some fantastic homages. The work looks amazing. I love some of the compositions. The street one, I love that. This is great.
Oh, I appreciate it. That's more compliments from Todd than I.
Yeah, I think Todd. Yeah, Todd's been drinking. Either that, or he did a couple rails of coke. He's all fired up.
No, that's what I'm shooting for. I love superheroes, and this is my ode to all of my superhero comic stuff that I grew up on.
Sometimes that can be it. The passion is coming through. That's
probably what you're seeing.
It's all passion. Clint is all passion, but you know what? He has nothing compared to this next guy. This guy is our go-to. Whenever we need anything, this guy looks it up. He always comes in the green rooms, got something to share. Man, I miss this guy. I think the last couple shows
we haven't bringing out the Amish guy.
The Amish guy.
Introduce him to the audience. That's awesome.
Well, you're gonna have to bring the Amish out of this guy, because I'm not even gonna go down that street there.
Yay, verily, bitches.
It's just
I didn't even get to say your name. Comic Book
it's
Bob.
It's the lighting. Like, you know how I don't know what it is about Amish, but the beard looks like it's straight. Like it's like flat, straight. Like it could cut.
I got some curve I got some curve to it, man.
I don't know. It just looks straight.
Yeah. When I raise a barn, it doesn't have any right angles. I'm not Amish enough.
Todd is scaring me. Well, actually, off air, Bob said that he does walk across the street and he shares his neighbor's internet, because in their village they don't have internet.
It's a sin to own English.
He's got a horse outside going on a treadmill to create power.
Generate the electricity. Yeah. All right. Well, we got this guy. This guy, he's a big lover of Spider-Man, which we all are. But this guy loves Peter Parker just as much as Spider-Man, which I think is really dumb. Because Peter Parker is a freaking loser. Mr. Chris Wozniak. Oh shit!
Oh, the walk off.
Chris is like screw
oh
man.
Shit! We got a middle finger too.
Bunch of dicks. Why am I here every week?
With that shirt, with that shirt, you need to be playing some Burt Bacharach back there. What the hell,
just
man?
Just because I'm the only guy that has a shirt with a collar. It's
yeah. No, I got a collar. It's just not buttoned.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Hey! You're not looking 70s enough, man. You need a couple more medallions,
dude. It's a fucking. It's my Italian horn.
Ooh,
how would this Amish guy know?
I don't think that helped the argument much, man.
Dude, what the fuck do I care? They're like, do you want to live in the 70s or do you want to live today? What was better?
I'll take the 70s.
Yep.
70s
had Bush.
Chris, are you Italian?
Bush.
Hey, are you Italian over there?
I am half Italian, yeah.
You are, me too.
But only half.
Yeah.
The good side of Chris is Italian.
He can't be made. He can just only work for the maid guy.
Well, yeah, I got Italian looks like a Polish sausage.
Oh my gosh, we're really getting deep into our backgrounds here. This guy looks really bored, but wait till as soon as I click this little box right here, this guy's gonna come alive. Right now he's copping the Z's, he's snoring, he's reserving his energy, and ready on 3. Wake up. 1, 2, 3.
What? Dude,
I tried.
I'm picking 2020s over 70s. Are you kidding me? The chaos that's going on now, it's fantastic. It keeps me warm at night.
Well, if you know how to grow your own food and you can live in the woods, yeah, you're pretty much safe.
Dude, what does he know? He's in the Matrix.
Dude,
He does
I'm
look
in
like
the
he's
green
the
mix. The green mix. It's better than
Why
the
didn't I
Matrix.
take the blue pill?
It's all gamma radiation. It keeps me healthy and strong.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, to your point, my wife and I have been looking at diversifying our funds and investing in gold.
Yeah, get some gold,
Oh.
silver, some precious. Yeah, you gotta back that up with precious metals, baby.
You better, Art.
Yeah, I don't want to
Gold,
lose. Yeah,
gold, silver, and lead.
and lead.
Ammo. Lots
Ammo.
and lots of ammo.
That's
If
the
you
last
saw
one.
this-
Silver and lead.
Jesus, guide my bullets.
If you saw the Matrix, we're gonna need a lot of guns. A lot of guns.
Fucking Rob came out
Wow.
out of the barrel like smoking. All right. Well, this guy right here, he is my brother from another mother. He lives down under, believe it or not. He's not an Australian either. And brilliantly talented. This guy comes out of nowhere, draws like the shit out of black and white, and gets a job. Just hanging out in the chat, showing off his artwork. And I hired him for black and white high octane. So this guy's really, really talented dude. We bag on him a lot, but he deserves a little bit more respect. What do you think?
It's a diversity hire. Come on.
He deserves more white women.
Oh,
We all deserve
oh.
Shit. Oh shit. Pedro, you might want to rethink coming on the stream tonight. I don't think it's going to go well for you. Without further ado, Pedro Ang.
Yeah,
Yo.
I am a diversity hire, and I do need more white women.
There's that
Yeah.
check box. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Pedro.
Check and check.
Hey,
There's
did you
nothing wrong
start
with
your
either of those.
animation YouTube school thing that you're doing?
Oh, dude, the thing is, like, I've realized now that I'm listening to myself that I have horrible English, so I'm scripting everything. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer. But I already have like 3 videos ready, and I'm revising to make it understandable. Like I understand it, but I'm not sure if you guys will. So
Don't worry, we'll just put closed captions on.
yeah, maybe captions would work.
Captions.
Yeah, we should do captions, or maybe I'll hire a voice actor so he can like dub me.
Don't worry about your English; is not bad. at
You know
all.
who should dub you? Todd Mulrooney should dub you.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
No,
But do-
the guy who
But
does.
do like a
Optimus
kung fu
Prime.
movie, like
Okay.
those old kung fu movies, like they speak and they keep moving their lips. Like, where you go?
I want Pedro to sound like Optimus Prime.
What Optimus Prime? Oh my
Let's
god!
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah. How much would that guy go for? Like,
I don't know.
I
don't like.
Every once in a while, somebody gives out a free cameo, so just have them read all the.
Yeah,
Collect
like
them.
a
It'd be like
roster.
100 different people, but
Yeah.
I think it might cut into your profits.
Yeah,
Just
dude,
AI into it. Just AI.
Oh man, that would suck so much. Doing the whole AI. That drone voice people do on video sometimes.
Sometimes.
you can
Sometimes.
hack.
Sometimes.
You could hack Disney servers and get like James Earl Jones.
Or
He's
Morgan
already
Freeman.
said every word in the
Yeah,
in the
dude.
dictionary, so they can do his voice forever.
Yeah, dude. I can do like
I want to hear the James Earl Jones AI say, "Suck my
suck my
Suck
What?
my pipe."
suck my.
My pipe.
Oh man, I don't know,
What?
dude. Like you guys want
Oh.
to go back to the 70s because I know the VDs were horrible in the 70s. There's a lot of itching and burning sensations in the 70s.
Yeah, but what a ride.
Yeah,
What?
lots of rashes.
It was worth that trip to the free clinic.
It was.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm having too
Nah,
much fun.
man, you just drop some LSD and you're fine.
Yeah, dude.
Is
I
that
mean,
how you
the
cure?
fact that you don't feel the itch doesn't mean it's not there.
Well, wait a minute. So LSD will cure venereal diseases?
LSD
Well,
cures everything for a little
If you
bit.
take enough of it, yeah.
Yeah, you just don't notice you
It'll
have
kill
it.
you.
I'm not
I'm
buying
still-
that one.
I'm still tripping from my VD.
Yeah, so like, crotch rod, but I don't feel it.
Oh, those crabs.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Well, you know what?
Too much.
Let's use this energy and let's direct it. Let's focus it into a live campaign that's going right now. This campaign is really cool. I like the concept. I like the creative people behind it. And let me see. Let's click this. Let's pull this lever. Let's click this. Where is it? There it is. Boom, 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 baby.
There you go.
Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing this?
Yes, sir.
This is the freaking Superiors. This is a book that should be doing 4 times the amount that it's doing right now. But there has been a little bit of what would you say? Band? What is it called?
A band hammer.
Little chink in the mechanism. Indiegogo is pulling its full Indiegogo-isms on us, and I saw Shane posting something about Backer Kit that he was dealing with the same.
Oh, don't talk about that. No, don't talk about that.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shut you down, but
no,
but he did shut you down.
There's all this drama about what. Don't say anything. Blah blah.
No,
blah.
that's fine. That's fine. I don't know that much about it, so I'll just talk about my thing. Is Superiors? You can't find it in the comic section, and you can't find it in the search engine, and you can call that whatever you want to, but it's not helping out the campaign at all. I'll tell you.
But you know where you guys can find it? Past Masters in the chat. He'll be posting. Please post Past Master, and also. In the description, the Superiors link is there, so you guys can click on that, check it out. If you like what you see, then back this book. Yep. He's got 4 days left. That's the 30 days, right?
Yep. The 40 is left in the 30 days. So
okay, so he's got 4 more days. Don't wait, you guys. Get on this. 170 backers, 12,335. Pretty damn good, but. These things are expensive. The printing costs, shipping, everything. So don't let these totals fool you. It takes quite a bit to make these things happen, and I'm sure Clint doesn't want to pay out of pocket for any of this stuff.
Printing costs.
I want to make an awesome looking book for everybody, but it takes backers and it takes Comicsgate to get behind these books. I made this book as like a love letter to the superhero kind of comics that we all grew up on, Avengers, Justice League, pouring my heart and soul into this. I've gotten great response from everybody, but I just need more eyes on it, I think is what it simply comes down to.
Yeah.
I just need Comicsgate to get the word out there as much as you possibly can, and I appreciate everybody that's retweeted and shared this, and all the comments on my posts and everything. Yellow Flash has been a huge help. We've got the Yellow Flash variant there, so if you follow Yellow Flash, I put his own variant in there, and that's really been popular too. But yeah, just getting more eyes on it, getting Comicsgate to know about this book, that's kind of the biggest thing that can help this kind of get it over the top right now.
Yeah, and if you guys have already backed this or just don't have the cash right now, share that on your social media. Yeah, all that works. This is guerrilla marketing, so this is how we get the word out. So Clint's a good guy. He fulfills. He's how many campaigns have you done so far?
I'm fulfilling Slave Girl right now. I've got I've shipped out 230 backers, and I've got 96 backers left. I'm doing the sketch art right now, the original sketch art. So all of these backers get 2 original sketches of Slave Girl. So that's what I've been doing during the day, and then shipping out books the next day. But yeah, that'll be Slave Girl is 6 that I've completed, and then Superiors will be my 7th campaign. So
yeah, this guy's the real deal. He fulfills. He gets these things done. And if you guys haven't noticed, like all these covers so far are odes to classic superhero comics. So this is Jim Lee. This is Travis. I don't know who the Flash artist is. This Murphy Anderson?
Yeah, it's like I was trying to go back and look at it, and those guys didn't sign their covers.
I think that might be Carmine.
Yeah, Carmine
Infantino.
Infantino.
Yeah.
Because it's the Flash 139, and I think you're right. It's Carmine Infantino. But,
And you know what? Carmine was big on calling woke people turds. So that was his whole thing. He'd go, "Hey, listen up, you guys, you bunch of woke turds.
This cover is perfect. He would have loved it.
Get back to work."
And no exaggeration, Carmine is likely the best Flash artist ever. I mean, he was
hands down.
He was no joke. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Jose did the Superman Flash like some TV stuff and everything. That stuff obviously is gorgeous, but but Carmine he made Flash what he is, the modern Flash.
Carmine was the guy that did all those ghost effects, like when he's running and stuff, where you see the multiple flashes and all those action lines and all that. He really, really did go outside the box. That's hard to figure out, and that guy did it, and it became the language for that character. It
became the language for superhero comics because superheroes were dead before they rebooted Flash. And the reboot of Flash that Carmine did is what kicked off the whole. They linked the superheroes into the the sci-fi craze of the late 50s and then going into the 60s, and then we got the Green Lantern reboot and everything. Where it was a pilot and all that stuff, but it's the Flash that saved superhero comics altogether because they were dead.
Modern day comics for sure. This is a John Byrne here. All kinds of good stuff. You can tell that Clint really loves comic books. Is this a Buscema or Ramita who did it?
It's neither. It's more of just the era. I went and looked, and that's what's kind of been fun about doing these homage covers is just going back and studying the old guys. And this is more of like a hodgepodge of all like the 60s Avengers covers kind of. I was looking at some Ross Andrew. I was looking at Don Heck. I was just looking at like a bunch of people from that era and kind of taking bits and pieces and like throwing the buildings, like just the buildings with no backdrop and like the splash yellow and red and stuff. Just trying to get that old school vibe for it. So
looks fantastic. Don Heck, excellent Iron Man artist.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so this is near and dear to my heart. This is very 90s.
Yes,
they nicknamed or they said the West Coast look. That's what they call it. Yeah.
Cross-hatching city and this kind of that vibe.
Yeah.
I was looking at a whole lot of Arts Inking for that.
That's the good shit.
I love cross-hatching.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I do.
And I think
Don't make it sound dirty.
Yeah, everything gets dirty here. It's all about the butt stuff. It's all about the butt stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like hatching.
Yeah, baby.
It's not dirty till I start whiting things out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's at the end.
Oh, yes, it is.
When the whiteout starts flinging.
Big
around.
finish.
Yeah, it's the big finish.
It's the finish.
I think this was the page that Todd was paying homage to, or not homage, but giving you the praise for.
Just throwing everything in
It's
there.
really well done. It's not easy to do this kind of page.
And there's even the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that I posted the original version of this that I drew probably 20 years ago, and like I had this story in my head for a long time, so it went through a lot of incarnations, and I actually have the Superior's Early Visions books got like some of the old art, some of the stuff I drew 20 years ago, where I like put 6, 7, 8 pages together and was submitting it around to small publishers and stuff. So you can kind of go through the history of me evolving this book. But this page, this page was like kind of what the whole story was built around. Is this guy is a superhero, and he's like his world is so shitty in his own world that he leaves his world to go through the multiverse because they've got superhero sci-fi guys that have like portals and tunnels and whatever. So he leaves his world and he kind of walks into this world it's like basically right after Crisis of Infinite Earths is over, and you've got all these superheroes from the different multiverse, and they're just kind of loitering around as the concept. It's like these guys are just kind of, it's like after a con or something, you start bullshitting, you're catching up with people you haven't seen in a while.
You're looking for parties.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys are just loitering around New York City after they save the world, and there's just kind of a bunch of, riffraff in the background and people flying off to their own worlds. So that's kind of what this whole story kind of built from, is this concept on this page.
Well, the character I want to know more about is the traffic cop with that gas coming out of his hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know his story. Like, what did you
gas.
have for lunch?
Like, yeah, that's I've had this page, and like maybe I did not realize how close that was to looking just accurate. A Freudian slip, if you will.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, we kid because we care.
It was the barbecue roast beef.
He's the one who smelt it and forever will be known as he who dealt it.
No.
What was it that line from fucking, was it Mystery Men?
He shit out a kitchen sink. That's what happened.
Yeah, there you go.
This is good stuff.
Dude, are you okay?
I love the color work too. It's all, look at this. Look at these pages.
Yeah, the colorist really banged it out.
Dude, it's cool as hell.
Something's going on here. Someone's power tripping somebody.
Yeah. The evil variants are coming through the multiverse to kill this world's version of themselves and absorb all their powers, and he's the big bad guy. Well, he's one of the big bad guys as the story. But yeah, this is him coming through this world, taking his alternate variants' powers, and then he kind of starts tearing into the team as they try to stop him, and it gets messy real fast.
Sweet.
Yeah, I dig it. Look at this. There's the messiness right there.
Mm-hmm.
I made a mistake, imposter. By attacking one superior, you've attacked us all, fucker.
I need like one of those recordings, like you'd get the comic book with the record player that would do all the voices.
Oh my god! I remember.
I think they were called Power Records when we were kids. Yeah.
Art could do the voices of the bad
guy. Dude, seriously though, I'm surprised nobody has done that in a campaign.
Oh yeah, the way you can print records now, probably.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I always bring this up to Mike Barron, but there was when Nexus was a magazine. It was like a black and white magazine sized book. They actually had a record, like one of those floppy records. And it was in the spine, and you could play the record, and it was basically the dramatic reading of that comic book, and it was pretty damn cool, man.
Dude, even just do a digital version that people can download and
like an MP3 or something. Yeah. But I don't know that many voiceover actors.
There was back in the day where a record would be on like a page, right? And you had to trim it a little bit, but it would be like a page in the middle and pressed into this like vinyl, page.
Yeah, like a plastic page. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just stapled into the spine. Yeah, and it had a perforated edge, I think, and you just kind of ripped it out, and it was square. It wasn't round.
Right.
Yeah, but you could cut you could cut it to side.
Right.
To side,
if you were a psycho.
Yeah. You were like an anal retentive psycho. I'm like, it needs to be round.
My records need to be round.
Look at this action. This is awesome, everyone.
Shit.
Damn, man. This dude got.
Yeah. Back teen isn't going to clear that up.
My favorite is when the villain takes the weapon from the other hero and then uses against his friend. Because isn't this that swordman's right here? It's his sword.
He crushes the Shadow Knight's head.
Yeah, and then he takes his sword.
And his sword is magical, and he's like wondering, I don't understand why the magic won't work for me. And he's like, oh, well, it can still be useful. And then the speedster guy runs up to him at super speed, but that doesn't really matter if.
Right. You got cut down super fast. Yeah.
My sword is faster than you.
Hey, Clint, you just got one. One slick dude said Clint just back, contributed 203 for the strong box.
Sick ass, man.
There you go.
Hail CG.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that Clint, even when he's trying to do like a straight superhero comic, there's still this sexy, like this woman's chest is right.
Her boob is like half in his mouth.
Super
I
boob.
can't help
Boobs are
myself. I
super.
think it is subliminal.
That's
trying to
awesome.
fit her in the panel, and
She's so pretty, though.
there's just too much tit in there. And then the up the skirt ass shot as she's flying away.
We can't stop him. We've got to try. Like I always like these guys. It's like just rush them all at the same time.
Yeah,
You know, as far as this whole thing of like this 90s style and that thing, there's still remnants of those artists that drew like that. And you know what? It still affects me the same way and stands out above other things. Even Todd Knock, who grew on me over time, but seeing that is still 100 times better than a lot of crap being printed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
the level of detail,
cartoony.
Yeah, because today's stuff is influenced by manga and anime, which it moves. So you're like, dude, comic books are static. What are you doing? Put in some detail. Put in some textures. Stop drawing it on the computer unless you know how to do textures. Come on. What the freak?
Come on, people.
Dude, what's on?
Look at that. That's amazing. I love it.
But they don't care. They don't care.
No.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, that cover kicks ass.
Yeah. Look, I gotta tell you, I'm really, really surprised this isn't like doing like gangbusters.
Well, it got shadow banned, man. It's not
Yeah,
coming
it's
up.
got shadow banned. Like the thing is, like you talk to a modern comic book artist, and it's like, yeah, I don't do details, but do you know my pronouns?
Yeah.
And that will be the end of the discussion. You know, so,
do you know my pronouns?
Clint,
you know my pronouns?
real quick, after the 4 days, is it going to go into demand? Because there's a couple people that want to back it, but they don't have the money right now.
Well, this is the first 30 days. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm going to extend and go the full 60, and then they'll probably. It probably won't be a long in demand, but there'll probably be some in demand. So there is time.
And here's the
Reaching
thing, guys.
Out to Indiegogo gets you where? Like, what have they said?
I the first day I hit their customer support and haven't heard squat.
Yeah,
Indiegogo
is freaking disarray.
I was
right
literally like looking on LinkedIn because the CEO of Indiegogo is on LinkedIn. And I was like looking, and I'm like, what if I message her directly and say, why are people being blocked or banned on your comic book section? Because it's only the comic book section. So
you should. Don't be afraid to.
I've thought about it. I probably should follow through.
Yeah, you should do it. The worst
I've gotten some of my jobs through LinkedIn by just being coy and finding people. Be honest.
Yeah, and guys,
because I mean. It's only comics, and it's only certain books, and you can figure out what the books are.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not the bigger. Well, I don't know. I don't know if any of the bigger, like, has anybody like Comics Kings run into the shadow banning problem or?
Shane Davies.
So Inglorious Rex was shadow. Okay.
Yeah, it was shadow banned.
Yeah.
There's been a few of them. I think Mike Barron's book was shadow banned. Yeah, so I think even Dan Frega's book just recently got shadow banned.
Well, and that's
after being in demand for like a year or so. Yeah,
and that's the confusing thing is. You cannot find Slave Girl and Blue Bombshell are both ended their in demand. You cannot find Slave Girl by searching, but you can find Blue Bombshell. So
that's weird.
Well,
Andy's stuff is also shadow banned. Andy Smith, Cordrath.
Now
makes no sense.
Oh yeah, Cordrath is. Yeah.
Is that an association thing, or is that like a person going, hey, this guy's a piece of crap?
No one knows. And the
That's
thing
the
is,
thing.
I don't want to get too into it because I think there's a lot of talk behind the scenes and people are trying to figure it out. But the thing is, like, I don't want to cast too much shade on Indiegogo because I have no idea why this is happening. They've been in CG's corner since the beginning. The reason why Indiegogo versus Kickstarter is because Indiegogo did play nice with us. So there's no real reason to think that anything has changed. I talked to. Program. Yeah. We actually had
it's a
Camel
damn Vickyverse. She works there.
Well, we had Camel Moon on, and we were talking on Pontificators that it could possibly just be an algorithm, because all these places are downsizing. Like this is just speculation, but every place is downsizing. So Indiegogo's downsizing as well. So they may be taking things out of the like human hands and giving it to algorithms. So there might be something that's hitting these algorithms and automatically going into these modes. So
that's a big part of it. From what I understand, because they downsized a lot, I think they changed ownership as well. And one of the stories that's come out is that the people that are there now don't know how to fix it. Like they literally don't know how to fix it. And so they're just basically kind of like out of sight, out of mind, trying to just muddle their way through it.
I think giving Indiegogo the benefit of the doubt at this point is probably the best thing to do.
But
like I said, we don't really have any reason to think anything other. There hasn't been a declaration of war or anything like that. You know what I mean? There hasn't been any statements made or anything. War. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. Oh, we lost Pedro. That was like a cartoon where you hear the clunk and then you see his icon kind of.
The weird thing though, that is it's only affecting the comic book section.
Well, I don't know. I don't.
From what I understand, it's only affecting the comic book section.
Yeah. Well, I mean, guys, I don't want to be a fire starter, but.
He's a fire starter.
Yeah, dude. Since when does this shadow banning started? Are we like months into this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's been like at least 6 months.
So isn't like the silence from Indiegogo telling that they don't care?
Oh no.
Or they just don't have the resources and people left anymore to handle.
I mean, I don't want to be the fire starter, guys.
Well,
I really don't.
Is it
too late for that?
CG books that are having issues. I mean, are they regular?
No, there's from what I understand, there are other books, but Comicscape books seem to be getting hit harder than anybody else.
And Marcus, I the best thing to do is leave Indiegogo.
Well,
the best thing to do is to be completely independent of everything. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the reality of that just isn't there yet. Mm-hmm. Just know that there are a lot of behind the scenes conversations about just that, is trying to be as independent as possible. I mean, look what happened to Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's going to go completely independent. You know what I mean? Like, with Twitter and all that stuff. So, having other people have a say is never a good thing.
And so this is all growing pains too.
Yeah,
it's it's like nothing's ever built in a day, and like CG is developing all the time too, and like you say leaves IGG, but I'm still going to make enough money to do this book and put it out and get it out to everybody. Maybe it could have been seen by more people or had more backers, but I'm still going to end up with a successful campaign where I can publish this book and get it out to people that are interested in it. And that's still a win for me. So, would I love for every one of my campaigns to just do, monster numbers? Yeah. But, also you kind of work within the parameters.
Right. And once you have that IP, once you have that comic book made, you can still, it's not dead. You know what I mean? It's not dead property. You can still repackage it. You can still go to other platforms. You can sell it. You can even go to comic book shops. There's a couple suggestions here. There's I think actually Pedro's doing some of this stuff.
Fun comic. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very young. It's a very young website, but dude, everything is over the top. When you have a problem, you call and a person will answer, which is something I appreciate. And dude, like the campaigns they're not doing Indiegogo numbers or Kickstarter numbers, but the website is like what, 3 months old?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
it's in its growing pains. They really listen to you. And as a personal experience, I can say making the campaign, so basically the logistics to make your campaign, way easier than Indiegogo or Kickstarter. I already tried them, the three of them. Fun My Comic is way easier to make. Everything is like extremely over the top. They use Stripe, and now I feel like I'm like the spokesperson for Fun My Comic, and Luke is not paying me a dime. But yeah, dude, it's just it was very easy to make the thing, and
Yeah,
they're
even-
alike with Stripe, with the same
Even
as
uploading the JPEGs, right? Pedro?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, way easier. Like
Mhm.
I wasted so much time trying to upload images to Indiegogo.
Yeah,
it
dude.
makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's really.
I remember when I
random.
first started, they go, well, here's your criteria for like posting artwork, and
It
then
doesn't
you
fit.
hit all the check marks, and then you go to put it up, and it's like
Like
nope. And so then you have
Okay.
to you have to figure it out all on the fly. It's like, is it the size? Is it what is it? You know.
Let me ask you guys a question. Joe brought up an interesting thing about here. Sell them at cons and get people interested in you by word of mouth. What if somebody was say you've got like 20, 30 extra copies of Superiors, and Art's got like a couple extra copies of Black and White 1 and 2, and Rob's got extra copies. What if one person went there representing CG and sold all of them out there and said, guys, check all these guys out. Check out their campaign.
I like that idea.
I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, as long as there's something for that person, like
and it is like say they got 10 different books. It's like,
I know you
there's something
can't do
for everybody.
Sundays, Rob, but I'll do Saturdays. You know, I mean, Bob, you can't do Sundays. I'll do Sundays. You do Saturdays.
Oh, dude, I can go to. I'll
kidding.
I know. I'm just saying.
You'll make it work.
Yeah,
the thing is,
I think it's a great idea. It's something to talk about for sure.
It's a really good idea. And the thing is, if there's any entrepreneurs out there that listen to these live streams, there is plenty of opportunity to come in, distribute, get these things into different venues, comic conventions, all kinds of stuff, printing. So if there's anybody that's an entrepreneur, we're all listening. I mean, we're all looking for places. We just want to get our books into people's hands. Like, however we have to do that, most of us are fine with that.
My book that I'm currently working on is going to be a giveaway as one version. It'll have a bunch of added stories. All the flashbacks will be in the funded version. But the straight up story, just the bones and the nuts and bolts of it, is going to be a PDF giveaway.
So we have a volunteer now. Chris Faction says, I volunteered to be the CG ambassador for cons in Texas. Yeah. So maybe we can get like an ambassador by state. Like I will offer to be the ambassador in Panama, but we have no cons here, and people here just buy live chicken and coconut. So
don't you like sell shit on the beach though, Pedro?
No,
massages
on the beach,
massages and
girls
and
does
shit.
hair.
Ice cold beer.
Yeah,
he braids hair.
I will braid hair. I will sell some lindas señoritas. Would you like something?
Tonics, cervezas, massages, deep tissue, happy endings.
Yeah, that's very Mexican.
Just get all the hookers and everything to pass those out instead of the pants.
Yeah, dude. The thing is like right now, hookers,
every happy ending comes with one of these.
Yeah, the hookers in Panama charge $20 for extra stuff. So I'm wondering
$20
if I can hire them and give them $20 to do like CG ads with really good looking Colombian girls.
Oh, actually, get one of them on my YouTube channel.
And it's only $20 extra.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite thing about hanging with you guys. Like this guy comes in with like a genuine business proposal, and then we just go
straight
off on a tangent.
We just don't even acknowledge it.
I want to know what extra stuff is down there, though.
I got a great idea for business, and 30 seconds later, the South American
destroyed it. We go to that stuff right away. No, but Chris, actually, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like maybe if we can get like a circuit to see like where the cons are, get somebody there who would be the representative, and see who has like extra books. Give them at a cost or something. Like figure something else.
But we don't have to do that. We have 4 creators that have books right now, right?
Yeah.
You have a book, Todd? You don't have a book printed, right? And Chris, you don't have one yet, right?
I don't talk about it.
Or even
Pero cuidado.
do you got an ash can we can hand out?
I'm 12 pages away from finishing a new project.
Okay, well the thing is, like I have a few books, and I think between at least 4 of us, we have product that we could get out, and maybe send it to Chris, and then he can see what he can do at a convention. And I mean, start small. Everything starts small. So we do appreciate you coming in and wanting to help us here, Chris. I do appreciate it. Let's see.
I mean, we got 2 people already for Texas cons. I know Apple De La Fuente. I think some of you guys know him too. He runs cons in Texas.
Is he a hooker?
Apple De La Fuente. He does. Yeah.
Do you do any?
He does Alamo. He runs Alamo City Comic Con.
What's that?
Turning down shows.
Do you do any of the big shows in Texas, Art, or do you not?
I have in the past. I mean, that's one of the main reasons we moved out here is because I was doing a bunch of shows out here.
Yeah.
And the one thing I really like about Texas, I mean, one of the major things before I moved out here was that people have money here. So when you go to conventions, they're not trying to get you down the price. They're not
haggling.
Yeah, they're not haggling, not doing that. They see something, they go, how much? And you tell them, and then they give you the money, and then they walk
that's
out.
awesome, man.
I mean, it's a lot different than California. Like California, they'll start trying to talk you down, or they'll go, it's a little expensive, and they'll walk away, and they say, maybe I'll come back, later in the day, those type of things. But in Texas, they just, how much? They give you the money, and then they walk away. And it's like,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. But
I remember I was talking.
Apple's friends with Jimmy Reyes, so and he has him come do conventions for him. So
yeah, I talked to the promoter because I'd never seen anything like that, well, at least in a long time. And he said, "Well, it's because Texas has money, That's why."
Yes, but $20.
Do you need a passport to go to Texas? Has that changed yet?
A passport?
Not yet.
California,
that's if you fly out into Mexico and then fly back in. Yeah.
All you need is a cowboy hat and a gun.
Yeah, I can't walk to Texas.
Just throw on a mega hat and
get
beat right on through.
Yeah. Well, I like this show because we've gone almost an hour into this, and we haven't even hit one of the topics yet. So.
It's so entertaining. We're so entertaining. Oh my God.
We are.
Topics are just like if in an emergency break glass.
Yeah, topics are just excuses. They're just excuses to hang out. Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into this. This is Paul Stanley, Kiss. And he said some stuff.
I missed it.
And we're gonna see what that is here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kiss frontman Paul Stanley backtrack. So if you guys haven't heard, look at how old Paul Stanley is in this picture. Oh my God. This looks so bad. Look at his skin all wrinkly.
He looks like a melted candle.
He does look like he's melting, with his wig on. But this is a Kiss. They were once great. Kiss frontman Paul Stanley backtracks on recent controversial comments. So let's see if I can find the original comments.
How pissed Gene was at him.
Oh my gosh.
Because Gene is like, we're trying to sell shit here. Just shut up.
Yeah. Jen is like, I invented OJ. Before me, nobody.
Okay, I don't think his original comment. His original comment isn't here. But this says, days after speaking out against allowing transgender children to get gender-affirming care, Kiss Paul Stanley is backtracking his words. So basically what he said was that he didn't think it was right to, for young kids to, be supported in this kind of weird, strange way to get transgender surgeries. And I think most adults agree, most parents agree that this is probably not a good thing. Especially when you're a kid. When you're older and you can make your own decisions, then that's fine. But society's got to look out for kids. I do believe, and I do think that pushing kids into, and they are kind of pushing kids into these gender, as they say, affirming care, I just think is wrong. It's like they're not even sexual beings yet. And you're already saying, you
fucking
know,
crazy. I mean, we don't let 13-year-olds fucking get tattoos. Why are we gonna fucking let them cut their cocks off?
Yeah.
They're not old enough to make any kind of decision. You know?
Right, exactly.
Especially, they certainly don't understand the ramifications of making a permanent life decision. You know, I mean, they're fucking idiot kids.
It's look, someone much more intelligent than me said it best. Trans babies are like vegan cats. We all know who's making the decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there's no argument to be made. We all know it's bullshit, and eventually, you know, they're going to realize this. But there's going to be all these kids that have already been screwed over by this stuff. Yeah. So more people standing up for this. And by the way, was it Ted? Was it the Nuge and
Ted Nugent?
D. Snyder.
D. Snyder of all people came out and supported him when he said this.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, I did read his news statement, you know, where he wanted to clarify, and I'll just read it and get your thoughts.
Yeah.
He shared his news statement. While my thoughts were clear, my words were clearly not. Most importantly, and above all else, I support those struggling with their sexual identity while enduring constant hostility and those whose path leads them to a reassignment surgery. It's hard to fathom the kind of conflict that one must feel to take those steps. So far, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not really. Yeah, that's not backpedaling. He's talking about He's talking about children.
Yeah. So
but he's also trying to walk a tightrope, which is not possible.
Yeah. Right. But he never apologized. So then he says his closing statement in writing, a paragraph or two will remain far too short to fully convey my thoughts or point of view. So I will leave that for another time and place. So I know he got a lot of flack for this, but I wanted to see what you guys thought. If you thought it was like a clear like apology or backpedaling, or was it just kind of a bullshitty way of trying to get them off his back?
It seemed fine. It seemed fine because he's acknowledging there are people that whatever, and as an adult, you can make that decision. Right. Once you're 18 years old, go ahead and make whatever decision you want for your life. But 8, 10, 12-year-old kids,
2 years old. That's how old Jazz Jennings was when her parents transitioned that kid.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's freaking insanity.
Yeah.
And this is kids, and this is school. If you're skinny, you're picked on. If you're fat, you're picked on. Yeah. If you're poor, you're picked on. Everybody gets picked on in school.
If you're handsome, you're picked on.
Oh, I was always constantly picked on.
Yeah, but maybe we should just go back to that because things are working better.
You know what though? Hey, you know what? When you
constant hostility, it's always constant.
High school was the friggin' crucible, man. When you made
high school's getting you ready for the real world.
Yeah, when you made it through, you had skin like leather, and nothing could freaking hurt.
You know what? I heard Jordan Peterson talk about. He said middle school is the worst, and my daughter. Middle school was the worst. He said because you're coming into your power. You know what I mean? Like like you start kind of pushing the boundaries and stuff like that, but you don't quite understand what the ramifications of your words and your actions mean. So middle school is the worst. High school is when things kind of start shifting a little bit, and then hopefully you grow out of it completely. But it is kind of like what Rob was saying. It's kind of the way human beings are wired. They're just kind of wired that way. I always told my wife, I said, the first thing that people do when they get power is they abuse it. Everybody does. It's not just politicians. First thing you did when you were drinking age, you went out and you got obliterated, and you probably did every stupid thing under the sun, right? Like you didn't go, oh, I can't wait to vote and be responsible. Yeah. No, you're like, I'm going to get freaking ripped. You know what I mean? Like you always get that power and you do stupid things, but then you kind of curve it and you come back to being responsible, figuring things out.
Yeah, but that's the bullshit. You got people with no life experience making life decisions, and it's fucking insanity.
I mean, this topic is so serious. You know what I mean? And the thing that's pissing me off is that we're listening to Paul Stanley. I have nothing. I have nothing but respect for Kiss's body of work.
Kiss
And I
sucks.
enjoy the band. Dude, they did
Fucking
something that I
Loverboy
couldn't
better
do
than
musically.
Kiss.
I respect that.
Blow me.
But he should, he should stick it. She should stick to sing and lick it up. You know what I mean? The thing is, like, when he did the statement, if he would have gone after saying the same, like, "Hey guys, fuck off. This is what I think." Nothing but respect. With this, like,
that's what Ted Nugent would have done.
Yeah, exactly. He just played like
Well-
that, like Sweet Georgia Brown song, and he started dribbling around the tongue. Like, no, I didn't want to say that. Like, dude,
Ted
just
doesn't
shut
have
up.
Door to the Park
Go
is still a
sing,
classic.
put up CD,
So
shut up.
I don't know what Pedro's talking about.
Yeah.
No, I
Hang on.
think what he's trying to say is when you
we
say
ever-
something like that you believe in, then
Yeah.
people come at you. Then come
Yeah,
back
stick to it.
back at them with facts and
Stick
truths.
to it.
Because he
Stick
could
to
have pointed to some things that are going on in Europe and stuff where there's a lot of backtracking on this. Like,
Mhm.
you know, they get to an age of, oh, this was a mistake and stuff. So
Mhm.
there's some studies already been done. So he should have really just he should have just said what he said. It's off the cuff and then thrown facts and
Yes.
truths.
Well,
at
my
them.
thing
You're
is
right.
like hold a mirror up to them, like just to say, okay, so what you're saying is a child of 5, it's okay to have their sexual organs taken off and go on hormone therapy and become something different, even though they have absolutely no idea what's being said or done. They just came to you and they said they wanted this, or they felt like that they were this, and so then you take it as fact. So then you think that's okay, you know, and then just see what they have to say. Like there was a man on the street. He did this thing with abortion, right? And they were like, all these people, are you for abortion? Yeah, I'm for abortion. And then they said, well, are you for it when it goes to the 9th trimester or whatever the hell, you know, like towards the end, you know, of the duration? And then said, no, we're not. And then the parameters started getting set. And so then they were going like, well, maybe the first month or 2. You know what I mean? Like then there were these like qualifications that went along with it, but they weren't for like you know, aborting a child when they're just about ready to be born. You know what I mean? So once you start talking about this stuff, hold a mirror up to people, ask them these questions, then they realize that it's kind of stupid. You know, like to say that a child could make a decision like this that will alter the rest of their lives.
But
Then-
what if you have a kid, and this has actually happened in some places, a kid that fucking decides that he's a cat and wants fucking, you know, a tail surgically fucking applied to him. You're gonna go along.
Or
with,
if the
you
kid
know,
says like, "I'm Mr. T,"
yeah,
what do you do then?
and he wants
What
to
was it?
their
Like, was it Matt Wall? You know, you guys know who Matt Walsh is, right?
Gold chains.
Yeah.
I pity the fool.
But I'm just saying, you know, any kid at that age, this is why a grown up is, you know, supposed to advocate for fucking kids and, you know, and know better. And, you know, it's weird because there's somebody here locally that is like this and is a nice lady and is a funny lady. And you would think she's, you know, I got nothing bad to say about her, but she has a kid that, you know, and she's upset that, and the kid is young. I won't say how young, and I won't say if it's boy or girl. I don't want to get into this shit, but you know, but she's upset that her very young kid cannot have surgery, and I'm like, you know, I'm just boggled by that because she seems completely reasonable otherwise.
Well, this is like, what is it? What Jordan Peterson calls it, the devouring mother.
Yeah,
where it's basically like this is something that's been going on for a long time. The trans thing is just the latest thing that they've latched on to.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah, you guys remember? You guys remember yuppies back in the 80s?
No.
Young urban professionals. Okay, these assholes that walked around with shoulder pads and in their suits.
I was male. I don't know.
We're all like talking about Coachella and shit like that. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but what happened when they had kids? They did the same thing. They wanted to turn their children became little status symbols. You know what I mean? And it was all about like, oh, and like we gotta get our kid into the latest designer preschool before he's 2. You know, and all this shit. Like, oh, Jimmy got into or Trevor got into blah blah blah, and it's like Trevor didn't get into shit. He's 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like
my daughter does ballet.
It's
Like
literally a fad. sad
it
that-
is.
But it's
I
also
was
an
gonna
illness.
say-
It's like what Bob was saying. It's also an illness on the part of the mother. It's called Munchausen by proxy.
Well,
It's the devouring mother.
The devouring mother, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the Munchausen thing where instead of making your kids sick all the time, they do this.
They're living vicariously through these kids,
through the kids,
and these
yeah.
weird
But what it
fantasies
is,
of being
it's all about them. It's not about the kid. It's about getting attention for the parent.
Yeah, look at what I'm doing.
Right.
Exactly. The kid becomes a mission.
Look how great of a mother I am. I am so behind my kid. I'm willing to do this to them.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, and again, you want to throw some statistics out there. Even if you use these inflated numbers about how many trans people there are in the world, which is bullshit. That means that for you to have a trans kid, it's going to be 1 in 9 over 9,000. Okay, and some of these people say they have 2 and 3. It's like for that to happen, you would be able to hit the odds. The odds are you would hit the lottery twice to have more than one kid in this category. Now, the chance of you being a devouring mother, not over 9,800 to 1. So which one is more likely?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No kids for anybody. No kids.
No kids. Just
leave the freaking kids alone.
No
just
kids.
Let the kids be kids. Yeah, let the kids be kids. When you're pushing this on them, like you said, Bob, it's your agenda. It's not the kids' agenda.
Yeah.
And there's even stuff like now, like I identify as being a blind person or a legless person. There's like it's just
people, that's not a joke. People are doing that. There's someone who's going around in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
they identify as handicapped.
I can see them.
Yeah, they're trans handicapped or something like that.
Insane, delusional fucking nonsense, and everybody goes along with it like it's real. There are kids that are going to school that say they identify as fucking cats, and the school is putting a fucking litter box out for them. And you're just like, what the fuck?
That's awesome. They're so stupid.
But here's the thing.
Didn't you see, like, I saw it on Twitter, like the Met Gala video? Like, people were, like, dressed as cats and making cat sounds. And it was like, oh, my God, this is so original. Like, dude, this is insanity. And people are condoning it.
Here's an interesting thing, though. Matt, you know who Matt Walsh is? That's the guy that did that whole thing about what is a woman.
Right.
He actually started asking kids that are like oh, I'm a girl. Oh, why don't you ask the kid? Well, what is a girl? Well, a girl's someone who plays with dolls. So, well, you could play with dolls and not be a girl. Oh, okay. And then they just go walk off. This is the kind of stuff like, oh, well, Timmy said he likes girls, so obviously he's trans. No, he just wants to play with dolls because he thinks it's fun.
It's a little sissy, yeah.
It's it can be funny.
Well, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I identify as a lawn chair. Oh, this is just stupid.
Well, they say most of the kids, the males that identify, even the females that think that they're the opposite sex when they're growing up, usually end up turning into they become homosexuals. Like they're just a little confused. They're just but it takes them time to figure it out. But if you make these life altering decisions, then they never get to reach that point.
Well, I got again. I gotta bite my fucking tongue because people are very close here. But there's someone around my house that was doing that whole thing, the trans thing, and the they them and all that shit, and gay and they were just it was just a young kid that was going along with shit that they learned on TikTok, And then she met a boy and dropped all of it.
Yep, exactly. It's a phase.
Yeah.
DNA kicks in.
Just like being goth, it's a freaking phase.
And
for 99% of them.
It's just that it's like it's shit that's none of this is normal. This is shit that's learned on like fucking TikTok and the internet and all this shit. And it's not something. These are conversations that did not even exist 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're not only talking about it but actually living it and changing things and laws, and we're letting fucking boys into girls' locker rooms at schools and shit. This is fucking none of this was even discussed 15 years ago. It didn't exist at all.
And
all social media, and it's all fucking TikTok, and
it's stupid parents.
It's
SJW.
SJW.
Well, no, it's actually
it's
tell
the
them.
world's It's the world's biggest psyop from China, and they fucking paid for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
It-
Here's the
it-
thing.
It's a Chinese psyop.
Comics
Nice.
is a microcosm of what the SJWs have done. They wormed their way in, they push the far left agenda, and then if you say anything against them, you're a homophobe, you're a racist,
Yeah, well,
and they've done it in every aspect of society.
Yeah, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're
The
that.
media,
Yeah.
comics, movies, everything, politics.
Yeah.
Wait,
Because,
actually, tell him he's got a good point here. Trans baby, aka designer babies. You're basically, it's like I said, they're status symbols. These trans babies are status symbols for these parents.
Well, did you hear that? Remember the Disney, what was it, their gay agenda videos that came out? And there was that one mother, and she was talking about her transgender daughter. And then she said she had another daughter that identifies as something. So she had two kids.
Oh, the
that were
Disney
both-
president, right?
Yeah, were
Yeah.
equally as weird. And it's like, how does that happen that you
That's
have two
the-
in one household?
That's
The
the,
only
that's
the
common
thing.
denominator is the mother. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's the mom.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
that's like I said, Jordan Peterson said that statistically, you have a better chance of hitting the lottery twice than having two trans or gay kids in your house. And
I wanted to be Colossus when I was a kid, so
I wanted to be the
shoulder.
freaking bionic man.
Yeah,
You know,
So
gonna
good-
cut my
good
freaking
stuff.
legs and arms off.
I would have went for some bionics.
Yeah.
You know
I'm a
what?
Tigger,
You know
'cause
what?
I was
That-
made for
that is-
bouncing.
that is
What the hell?
Yeah, we're gonna put it.
Pick
Yeah, we're
something
gonna,
more manly, Todd.
we're gonna
Come on.
implant a big spring on your ass, Todd.
You know, that was the weird thing about being the bionic man is you kind of secretly wanted to get into some kind of crazy accident, right? Where you would lose your limbs.
In your eye? He was
Yeah,
missing
in
an
your
eye?
yeah.
Wasn't he missing
The
an ear
thing
too?
about the bionic man was he the bionic woman, they fall from the parachuting thing and she has the accident,
Yeah.
and then she gets all bionic again, and then he takes her on another parachuting jump after that. That's
You gotta
like
get over her fear, man.
that is like the douchebag boyfriend of all time.
Well, you
I'm
got to
sorry
get
that
back on
crippled
that
you the first
bicycle.
time, but I'm
Hey,
sure it'll
hey,
work out
hey,
the second time.
Hey, you know how you get a chick to like you, man? You go fight Bigfoot with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys
You
remember
know-
the bionic teenager? He was stronger
Yes.
than the bionic man. He was angry.
Oh,
Well,
Han
well,
Solo.
this
Nice.
I know there was they had a dog.
Yep. He was afraid of
Could there
fire.
be an
Go ahead, Todd.
Could there be an aspect of this that is sort of a trickle thing that came from? I don't know if you guys remember sort of the 80s, like can't hit your kids, you can't, you know what I mean? So it's like
Exactly,
parents are
yes.
afraid to scold your
That's
kids.
that's
When
what
your kid comes into the room with a tail coming out of his pants, you're like, get the fuck out of here with that tail, you know? And they're just these people that, oh, that's wonderful. That's a great
Yeah.
looking tail.
Yes.
Did you make that yourself?
Yeah.
That's
It's
when
that afraid.
late 80s, early 90s when it was like
Yeah.
you can't hit your kids or you can't discipline.
Yeah, when the beating stopped.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
actually,
And
here's the
look
thing.
what we have now. Those fucking kids grew up and
The pussification of
I know
America.
people that don't correct their fucking kids. They're like,
Yeah.
no, they'll figure it out. And it's like,
Yeah, dude.
your fucking kid is 6. He's not going to figure
Hmm.
anything out. You know,
Not without you helping.
You know
Yeah.
what? We had some friends over. Okay, they had 2 kids, and the daughter just wanted to go outside. My house. And so I told the dad. I said, unless we're out with her, I don't think she should. I said because there's snakes and stuff like that. It was the middle of summer, and so then and I told him this without anybody else hearing. And so then the daughter says, "I want to go outside, Dad." And then he does this. He goes, "Well, Art, Mr. T Bear doesn't want you to go outside." Right? So he throws me into the fucking bus. And I was like,
Dude.
you're a scumbag. You're afraid of your own daughter. You won't even stand up to her and say, just play inside, honey. There's plenty to do here or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no, he's going to throw me into the bus. And then another one, we were at a birthday party, right? These are the parents, man. These are the gullible parents. So we're at this birthday party. And so this parent's talking about, oh, you're an artist? My kid likes to draw too. I'm like, oh, cool.
No.
And then she's like, yeah, he draws all over the walls of the house and stuff like that. And we're so proud of him and stuff like that. I go, well, why do you let him draw on the walls? She said, we don't want to stifle his creativity. And I go, so you mean to tell me if you put a piece of paper in front of him, he's going to flip out? Like, come on. just put a piece of paper in front of him, say, draw on this. And then if he gives you any shit, say, well, this is better than the wall because it's permanent and we can hang it up on the refrigerator or we could do whatever. And I guarantee you, once you do that once, everything will be fine. The kid will be drawing on paper like a normal human being. But this teaches you how to be disrespectful, right? This kid's being disrespectful.
No boundaries.
And the parents are saying, like, this is a good thing. It's a good thing that you're, spray painting on some stranger's house, getting
get shot, man.
That's the fucking issue, is that these kids grow up with no boundaries, but worse than that, they grow up with this notion that every fucking idea is legitimate. And it's just not. Everybody is stupid in their youth. And fucking, we all, make mistakes, and nobody's, it's the fucking Bill Burr story where, the fucking attractive women, are just all misinformed because nobody fucking corrects them because they want to fuck.
Nobody calls them on their picture.
It's just a fucking whirlwind of fucking misinformation, a tornado flying around their fucking heads. And because nobody ever fucking corrects them, and it's the same thing with kids. If you don't fucking say something, they just think that every idea if they're worse, encouraged to just do anything they fucking feel like, then they just think that every idea is legitimate, and they fucking are, and that's why you wind up with 30-year-olds that throw a fucking tantrum when they go out into society. And someone says,
I agree. I agree with you, Chris. Like, bad ideas should be checked, but since you guys are not, you're not partial to beatings, and I get it.
I am.
I'll beat people.
Yeah, but no, like I have a solution. Just introduce predators into cities.
Wait, alien predators?
Big cats, man.
Panthers,
like
big cats, alligators.
You gotta run from it. Yeah.
If you're stupid, you're gonna get eaten.
Peter's calling from personal experiences, man. Like, you gotta run from a jaguar. You don't do a lot of dumb shit.
You don't go like, oh, look at the little cat. No, he's gonna bite your face off, so you just screw. There you go.
There's the
on your dog. Art knows what I'm talking about.
I've had my face eaten off.
Here's the thing. That aspect of letting them do that aspect of letting kids in that and having no boundaries for them, it creates a child who can't. It creates a person who can't deal with things themselves, and they need their parents. That's what the whole devouring mother thing is all about. Making sure that they can't be complete people without you.
Well, this is the biggest thing, okay? Parents that would say, I want to be my child's friend. I'd go, fuck you. You do. That's not what you want.
You can't be a friend.
You have one. Your title is parent, right? That's a special relationship that your child will only have one mother, one father, right? So that's you're not their friend. They're going to have all these other friends. You're their mother. You're their father. You're their parents. That's it. And then you have to be a parent. You don't really want to be their friend. They need to look up to you to guide them. They need you to make decisions. They need you to take care of them. They can't do it on their own. Friend isn't going to do that. A friend is one of those guys that's like, you say, I'm going to jump off the roof. And then they're like, sure, go ahead. That's what a friend does. A friend
totally, man.
Usually a friend doesn't say, get down from there, or I'm going to spank your ass, that type of thing. That's what a parent does.
Like, we used to do that. We used to fuck when I was a kid. We used to jump out of windows. Because we were fucking stupid kids.
Jumped off a third-story balcony.
Yeah, but we lived in a project.
Would you break?
Jumped out the first floor windows, and then we started jumping out the second floor windows. Then we started jumping out of third floor windows at 10 years old. Third floor.
Nice.
That's
smart,
dude. I was one of those kids that liked to play with friggin' electrical sockets and stick stuff in them. And my dad would sit there and be like,
I mean, that kind of shows, Bob.
Just let him go. And then and he's like, yeah, you ain't gonna do that again, are you?
You have one relationship, with your kid, and that's a special one. Why would you want to relegate it to being a friend? You're their parent.
And don't relegate that task to the world. The world is not going to love your kid the way you love them.
Right. I tell my daughter that. I tell my daughter that all the time. I said, there's one person that will always have your back, no strings attached. Well, there's two. There's your mom and I. Yeah. Everybody else, you have to question their motives and things like that. So let's get into the Zack Snyder.
Shout out to the chat. Landed another backer for Superiors.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Awesome,
dude.
CG.
It's awesome, Clint.
Appreciate it much.
Yeah.
And you guys, the link to Superiors is in the description, as is all of our campaigns. So Rob Hunter's Death Hunter.
Death Raider. Everyone calls it Death Hunter.
Oh my god!
Maybe I should have changed it.
Death Hunter.
Yeah,
we've been dropping.
And change it to Rob Raider.
Rob Raider.
That'll be the follow-up. Yeah, and then we have Tropical Magics on Kickstarter, and then we got Chrono Mechanics, and we have Chris Wozniak's pre-launch sign-up page as well. So let's get into this Zack Snyder stuff.
What did he say? I missed it.
What?
Zach can't help himself, man.
Oh yeah,
he's salty that his friggin' film franchise is dead.
Well, what I think he's doing is he's trying to keep his name out there because he's got this Rebel Moon thing at Netflix.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like all he needs to do is say something about the DC movies, and it's going to get him a ton of press. So
get a headline. Yeah.
Oh,
He has a
release the
following.
Snyder cut.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I
Snyderverse,
still do think this is a tell. You know what I mean? Like, he still says this stuff, but at the same time, he might be going, yeah, it's going to get me a headline, but it's also going to make people hate you because, you know, Zack Snyder says audience just don't understand his movies. And then, you know, he goes into, is this the paragraph? Zack Snyder recently shared that he believes audience didn't understand what he was trying to accomplish with his DC Extended Universe movies. Snyder, director of 3 superhero films, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to. The director explained during a Q&A, we don't need that. True Social, why he believes most of the negative reviews of Batman v Superman were a result of audiences not picking up on his multi-layered approach to storytelling. I think, and then he goes, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, you are, but I feel like a lot of people went into the movies for going like, oh, it's the superhero romp, right? Let's have fun with it, Snyder says. And we gave them this sort of hardcore deconstructionist, a heavy layered experimental modern mythology superhero movie that you need to pay attention to, that you really need to pay attention to. He continued, that was not cool for them. That's not something anyone wanted to do. They were like, what? No, that's exhausting. How about why don't they fight all night? And then he says, I hate that. Like, he purposely says, I didn't want to give them what they wanted, right?
Yeah.
Because he's obviously saying that's what people want. So he didn't give them that. And then he insults them. For the people who didn't like it, say you didn't understand it because you were too stupid to understand what my genius was. Exactly. And it's like, it's
okay. The first,
go ahead.
The first people that didn't understand what he wanted to do were the executives.
Yeah.
Because they said, no, you can't do that. You can't make Wonder Woman Kryptonian. So he acts like it was fans that are saying, you don't know superheroes. Everybody is saying,
you don't know superheroes.
No.
Yes. He's a fucking moron. He thinks, oh, what do you mean? It's not a fucking salad.
We've all met people like this, like especially creative people, like coming up the ranks, where there's always this pretentious guy.
Pretentious is the word.
He's got all this stuff that he wants to do and everything, and blah blah blah. And then you listen to him, and maybe if you're drunk out of your mind or coked out of your mind, you're like, oh yeah, cool. But then as soon as you sober up, you're like, that guy's full of shit. You know, this is stupid. You know, why would you want to do that?
Let him? The Watchmen was slow and boring.
Why
would they give the DC franchise
for the Watchmen
to this guy when Watchmen was? I mean, he gave us Watchmen a la Superman.
That's what he tried to do. He tried to turn the Justice League into the Watchmen.
To the Watchmen.
Yeah.
I think it was his Chris Nolan connection helped him out a lot. Because Chris Nolan,
in the first movie,
the Batman trilogy had made an assload of money, and it got It did two things: it got an assload of money, and it got critical acclaim. That's what every studio wants.
So Chris Nolan was attached to that stuff early on.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
And
executive
Chris
producer.
Nolan was attached, and it kind of shoehorned Snyder in there.
Yeah, he just pulled away
Yeah.
from it.
The thing is, like the Nolan movies were entertaining, so
Yeah,
there's that.
Mostly.
Well,
The
see,
first
the
one was a
difference
good Bruce
is,
Wayne movie.
yeah, I've heard Zack Snyder say this. He doesn't believe in altruism. He doesn't think
No.
it exists.
He doesn't believe in heroes that don't kill either.
Right. And so the thing is, how can you really do a superhero, especially a hopeful superhero, when you don't believe that altruism exists? You don't believe that somebody would give up their life to save another person without any ulterior motive. That is cynical.
That's the definition of Superman, though.
yeah, exactly.
That is the core being. That is.
Well, look, 9/11, all those cops and those firemen. Oh, it was just their fucking job. Well, no, I don't think it was just their job. I think those guys.
You could linger. You could linger outside. You
could have just said, you know what, I feel
hang out by the
sick.
truck.
Looks dangerous.
My
Yeah.
hamstring.
Hold the hose.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn it!
yeah.
Or you could be cynical and go, oh well, that soldier's getting paid, to fight that war. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, there was a lot of fucking people that showed up. Fucking Steve Buscemi, the actor.
Oh
went
yeah.
back and joined his old fire. He used to be a fireman. Who went back and fucking re-upped in his old unit to fucking help out. I mean, there are people that fucking run to danger to help. Not men.
Wasn't there?
And there are people that will never understand that concept, that you just go to Hollywood and make bullshit
Zack
movies.
Snyder. Yeah.
Wasn't there a script though? Who approved a script? That's what I don't understand, because I did like Superman, but at the same time I watch it and go, well, if you wanted to just make money, you would have just ripped off Marvel. You would just said, this is what Marvel did. We'll do exactly what Marvel did. We're going to print money. We're all going to make $1 billion, and we'll all be super happy with toy sales and video game sales and all the other stuff that's exciting. But someone approved the Superman script. Or lots of people
all those
said,
guys are fired
okay.
now. Hamada, Diane, what's her face?
Nelson?
All those people that approve that stuff, they're fired. I think they got fooled by the Chris Nolan thing. They got Zack Snyder instead. Nolan disappeared, and all those guys are fired. Jim Lee managed to survive, you know. And guess what? Guess what they're doing now? Let's go get one of the big Marvel guys and Marvel the crap out of our DC universe.
You know what they did is they didn't read the script, just like Marvel editors do.
Oh,
they didn't read the script.
Yeah,
They're too busy with their power lunches.
Like, even if they read the script, they don't understand.
Yeah,
and
they're
especially unless you know that this guy is a deconstructionist. This guy does not believe in altruism. This guy believes that heroes should kill. Like when you're dealing with somebody like that, that's a tell. Like you should know up front. Once you realize that, this is not the guy to be writing.
No.
Especially the DC universe, especially Superman. This is not the guy to be doing that stuff. And yet they did. So I don't think they fully understood this guy. And also there's kind of like the DC dark universe, like the more like, modern stuff. And then there's like the DCU that we grew up on. And there's completely different universes. And also the stuff that Zack Snyder really liked was all the Elseworld stuff. It was like the Alan Moore stuff. It was the Frank Miller stuff. It was all that. But you cannot build a universe on that stuff. Yeah. Those are very much one and dones. Those are very cynical. Those are very dark. They make
First of all, those work in the first place because they're Twilight Zone versions of the accepted, universe.
It's a contrast to.
They're not the cartoons.
Yeah, they don't live on their own in that way. That's what makes them special, is that they.
And the thing is, like,
what we know.
I don't know. This is my opinion, but Zack Snyder is not really a storyteller. He's a
good
director.
At fights.
But dude, he's good at visualizing and putting the sequence, but he's not a storyteller. Like, if you guys seen Sucker Punch, that's storytelling.
I kept waiting for the samurai robot to show up, and then when it did, and that was it. I was like, "What? That was a."
The visuals are cool. There's no underneath to the visuals. There's no structure.
Let me ask you. Here's the question: how many guys watched Sucker Punch twice?
Yeah, exactly.
No. Anybody?
No. I did a panty shot run though.
Oh, you are skeezy, my friend.
I did that with a notebook. making notes.
Yeah, it's too dark. There's no point. Like I used to think, okay, I don't like dark movies, but then I realized I don't. Dark movies are okay as long as there's a glimpse of hope at the end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. As long as there's something that you can hold on to, that it's not completely pointless. Like The Crow, that first movie.
It can't rain all the time, Art.
It can't rain all the time, and so, but it had kind of like, the hero finds closure. He saves the little girl and her mother, and brings all those guys to some kind of like
justice. You get to dark, like movies like Alien or Blade Runner. Those are dark films, but the atmosphere and everything is there to serve a story. So I mean, those things work. It's different if you just have visuals for the sake of visuals, and it's just like,
well, it's like Aliens. Like if you go Aliens, okay, it got very dark. They all died, but that little kind of family unit survived. The little girl survived. There was the mother. There was the mother that just lost her daughter, or found out that her daughter was gone. There's this military guy, and you could tell that the two had kind of a crush on each other. So it kind of infers it. It doesn't definitely say that this is going to happen, but it kind of gives you this hope. And then everybody fights for those three people. Everybody gives up their life to get them out, for that little girl and all that stuff. Because that was the hope, and that was heroic. They all died. You know what I mean? Trying to get them out of there, and these things work. It's very dark, but it has that glimmer of hope. And without that, it becomes almost unwatchable.
Yeah.
And I don't think Zack Snyder completely understands it. I think if he could, he would have made Superman even darker than it was. Yeah. He would have had him killing all kinds of people.
Well, these movies are meant to be. I mean, Superman is meant to be a big summer popcorn blockbuster that's supposed to rake in the money. That's what DC wants. Like these
that's
movies
what everybody
are
wants.
made to make money. Superman is a franchise that should be even the dumbest Transformer movies. Like Superman should be fighting giant robots, and like it should be just like a spectacle that everybody shows up to watch this movie. It doesn't need to be this dark, multi-layered. Like that's where he went off the rails. It's like nobody was looking for that. Like the Snyder Bros, I know they love that dark vision of it, but they're the minority. It's like people are looking for the Marvel popcorn blockbuster.
Yeah, but a film is like a book. It's a place that you're going to visit, right? And if it's dark, if it's Alien, if it's Blade Runner, if it's one of those
Blade, even Blade was a dark movie.
But there has to be an escape at the end. You can't be stuck in a fucking shithole, because then you don't ever want to fucking watch it again. You don't want to and rewatching is really the key to the staying power of any film. Like all the great films, whether they're humor or dark, whatever the fuck they are, it's the rewatching is really it's that staying power that you can revisit it over and over and over again. And if you go watch a movie that's just fucking dark and different, there are lots of great movies that are so fucking depressing you never want to see them again. Who wants to watch fucking Brokeback Mountain again? It's just like
I didn't watch it once.
Well,
they told me what happened.
Well, I know you didn't get through because you kept pausing it, but
I need the timestamps, man. I need the timestamps.
If DC had done 10 years of dark cartoons and depressed a bunch of kids, you would have at least set up that foundation of DC is a dark universe. Here are the dark movies. But look at all the cartoons that came out. The Superman was super bright and fun. Justice League Unlimited was super bright and fun. Yeah, some people think the Batman that was really popular was kind of dark, but not compared to Zack Snyder's Batman. That's what barely anybody buys comic books, but most kids watch the cartoons. So you're like, dude, here are the cartoons. You can't do this because your audience that knows Superman and the Super Friends and the Justice League, you can't do this.
Well, also,
Snyder
like
was
I've
was
said
the
on
wrong
this
guy.
stream, I've said on this stream before, Zack Snyder just infuriates me because he wasn't a visionary. He wasn't any of those things that he says he was, because he failed the DC universe, and I'll tell you why he did. He went to the wrong source material. He, like Frank Miller, Alan Moore, he liked that dark, cynical stuff. You cannot build a universe around that. You cannot have Superman start in a dark universe, because you have to start from a more general theme or tone. You can go darker or you can go lighter, but you have to have one tone. And that guy never established that. When there was that Batman v Superman, you couldn't tell Gotham from Metropolis.
Right.
You couldn't tell the difference. It was all just dark for dark's sake, and you can't do that. Batman can be a dark movie. He's a dark character. He lives in a dark world, but Superman does not. But if you have just a very general tone for your movie, then you can build off of it. But if you're already dark, what do you do?
It has to be adventure. Like it has to be, superheroes are high adventure stories. That's what they're fucking born and bred for. It's what they're best at. And, and you have to set that level. And then from there, you can fucking play up and down. It's just like, and a good fucking example of something that along those lines would be the original Star Trek show. It's fucking adventure, but then they had some fucking heavy episodes and they had lighter episodes. And because they set that fucking adventure tone, you could fucking play around and do different things. But even if you want to do something dark, you take X-Files, which is generally fucking, a fairly dark show, but, they had light episodes and they they had super dark episodes, but they set,
Bombs under the bed.
Right, but they set something. Yeah, I know. But they set a fucking level that and set your expectations that, okay, this is our universe and this is where we're going to be for the most part. And then we have somewhere to go and we can play. But if you're going to have superheroes that are just going to be fucking dark, it's it's the wrong tone for the genre to begin with.
Right.
And it works great when you have adventure stories and then you have that fucking dark one, or you have that, or the fucking humorous one.
Well, then the dark characters stand out from the light characters too. Then all of a sudden you have diversity. Yeah, you have contrast, and you have all those things. And it's not like Zack Snyder didn't have an example. The Marvel Universe was
Avengers and Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
there's a good example of both of those.
One's already established. Yeah, they went into it. The Marvel Universe, like what I saw as a creative person, is that they established a tone. It became the formula later and got boring, but there was a tone that they could always kind of build off of. So you kind of knew what you were getting into. You knew what the Marvel Universe tone was overall. But Zack Snyder never established a DC Universe tone, other than it was dark as shit and it was gloomy, and that when Clark Kent's dad was a dick, and that Clark Superman was going to kill.
And that both of their moms' name was Martha.
Yeah, Martha.
Yeah. Why did you say that name?
And you know what? When he came up with that idea, he was like, I'm a fucking genius. Both their mothers are named Martha. Yes.
He hurt his shoulder.
We're practically brothers now.
Because you know what? I wouldn't even put it past him, because he's like I said, he's one of those guys. I was using that analogy when we were growing up, that thinks he is so deep, right? He's got like these great insight on all these characters. And then, when you're drunk or high, you go, yeah, that's a great idea. And then when you think about it, you're just like, this is so idiotic. This is so dumb.
A lot of stuff,
it's like, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, a lot of here's the thing about Zack Snyder's the movies. If he had broken all his stuff up and did the dark stuff with Batman, because that's where it belongs, you know what I mean? And then establish because it's Batman is the darkness, Superman is the light. That's the way it is. Superman is the Jesus figure, That's the way he's always been. So he's the hope. He literally is supposed to represent hope. How do you represent hope when you're all doom and gloom? Your dad's like, "Don't save me, son. Even though you can move so fast, no one's going to be able to see until it's you, and it's in the middle of a freaking hurricane. That was one of the dumbest scenes ever. And the fact that Jonathan Kent was so cynical about the world, not like my son is going to be the greatest thing that has ever happened to this planet, and raise him with those values and those ideas. No, you need to hide, son, because the world's
gonna fuck you
and
up.
evil, and they're gonna put you in a lab. And it's like, I mean, come on, man.
Anybody would have been like, "Get your superpowered ass over here and save me!"
Exactly. It's like, why are you sitting there? You're so fast, no one can see you.
Well, I have a
he
scene.
didn't know that.
I'm going to keep saying this scene because I want to get credit for it. Okay, so everything's the same setup. The Zack Snyder universe, the Superman, Man of Steel, the setup's all the same. Like, should I have saved those school bus kids, Dad? Well, maybe not. Whatever. You know, like all that. That Jonathan Kent.
What was I supposed to do? Let him die? Maybe.
So, little bastards.
So
you should have charged him, son.
Yeah, the tornado hits, right? And there's all these people on the highway, and then the dad still, they just had the fight. They just had the fight in the car. Like, should I? What do you want me, Dad, to stay home and work the farm? You don't want me to be anything else? And so then, they're having the fight, and so then this tornado hits, and so the dad's like, "Don't save me. You're gonna, I want it's more important, even if I die, to keep your identity, so some kind of altruism on the dad's part, right? So then the dad lets the tornado pick him up, and he's kind of being thrust around, and he's just kind of like, oh God, anybody help me. Like, he starts actually, like what you would do just before you're going to die, right? You would just start going, somebody help me, right? And then boom, the blink of an eye, swoops up, pulls him out of there, lands him on the ground. And then he just looks at his son
and realizes what
he goes, thank you. And then now he knows his purpose. His dad backs him. He just did the thing that nobody else could do. When people are at their wits end, they're praying to God. They just, anybody help me. There's this kid, and he's my son. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, all that movie, all that cynicism and all that darkness pays off, and then all
this good writing, Nerd.
Well,
and then
I'm gonna pat myself on the back because
that was good writing. I would have watched that movie.
I want to answer something in the chat here. He said, "Gun Supergirl being expert in kind of hypocritical." No, because that's an Elseworld story. Okay, and then someone says, and then Kevin said, in real life we would do that. This isn't real life. This is superheroes. Right. They are better than us. That's why they are superheroes.
Yeah,
but
they're beyond us.
You can still tell those stories, but you shouldn't lead the universe with that. You really should lead with something that is more universal. Bring people in, bring the biggest crowd you can, and then you can do these little spin-off stories. You can tell your Dark Knight story. You can tell your Peacemaker story or whatever, but you shouldn't start off with that. And I'm going to lead this into, since we're talking about Gunn, and then we'll kind of wrap it up with this is James Gunn. He came in, and the Guardians 3, I heard is really dark. There's some really dark elements to that. Yeah. And so one, I think that's hurting their sales. Two is, I don't think there's superhero fatigue. I think there's Marvel Disney fatigue. But now that we're talking about kind of this dark and all this other stuff, I think I have a more interesting question. Do you think James Gunn is the guy? No. Like he showed like what he could do with Rocket. We all know, right? I don't know if we all saw Guardians 3 yet, but there's some messed up stuff that happens with Rocket, and it's not just a little 5-minute scene. It's like throughout the entire movie. They basically show.
Well, let's because I don't know if the chat seen spoilers yet.
Yeah, you can tell from the commercial that's what happens.
I can answer that.
Well, that happens in his actual comic story too. So
yeah, but the answer to that is fuck James Gunn and fuck DC and fuck Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
All right. Show's over. Chris has spoken.
Mic drop.
I don't think it's the story that's hurting Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's not superhero fatigue. It is price fatigue. movie theaters keep getting more and more expensive by the day. Now you can go to the movie theater and get like, oh look, hey, you can get dinner, which is great if the movie's great. But if you walk out of a movie and you're like, this movie sucked, and you drop $60 or more, you're just like, what the fuck did I just? So there's a more pressure on movies to be really, really good, and if they're not, you didn't just pay $8 for a movie ticket. You've dropped, 15, 20,
and 30 or 40 bucks on dinner.
Yeah, especially a family.
We're living in a world where fucking people have 8K televisions in their living rooms. I mean, do you really want to fucking go out and spend all that money and then sit with a bunch of
Yeah,
I enjoy movies at home more than I do in a theater.
You can stop them. You can go to the bathroom. You can get pizza, which is cheaper.
Yeah,
here's the thing though. I don't think that's true because Top Gun Maverick.
Well, no, that was a great movie.
As I'm saying, if the movie's good,
it's great.
So the emphasis is so it's not that people are getting tired of them or anything like that, or that
it's tired of bad movies.
The price.
It's because we will pay to go see a good movie.
Right.
Well, also to make both of your points, what Disney and Marvel did is they decided to double dip, right? They went Disney Plus and theatrical. So what the fuck? Do I pay the money to go see the movie, or do I just wait and see it on Disney Plus? And also when the TV shows like WandaVision and all these other are just as good of quality as these movies are now, then there's no reason to even go to the theater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you guys are not taking into account one very important thing. Disney has managed to piss everybody off.
Everybody.
Yes.
And that's the thing, right? There are consequences to it. I'm not ready to say superhero fatigue. I'm more akin to saying Marvel fatigue and Disney fatigue. They're going to pay for what they do.
I think the people are just pissed off at Hollywood. And
exactly, in general. But I mean, if Tom Cruise comes with a movie, everybody's going.
So, I think it's all the above. I think it's all these things put together. One great movie could change everything. And my thing is, and what Marvel I believe was hoping for is that Guardians was going to be that movie. And what ended up happening?
Be that movie though? I mean,
it's not going to be that movie. Right, I mean, the movie is at 138 now, which is okay for most movies, but for a Marvel blockbuster,
it didn't do as good as the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
It didn't do as good as Thor: Love and Thunder,
Thor: Love and Thunder was the pure shit.
That was the drizzling shits, man.
What's going to be interesting is if Tom Cruise hits again with his
the Mission Impossible 2, the two Mission Impossible back.
Yeah, but those movies are all like solidly fun except for 2, which is a little underperforming what the other ones are.
Yeah.
But we're at the point with Marvel and DC. They've shot their loads already. What they have left. We've seen, we've had the Captain America movies. We had Thor. Is Guardians of the Galaxy really fucking something we're on the edge of our seats for? There are other franchises out there that if you come out with something and do it right, this is at the end of the day, if you really do it right, something can be fucking fun and blow up. But you're living in a world where, like last week, I was going to take my kid to see Mario Brothers, and it's playing. I live in a small town, so things run for a fucking week and then it's gone. You can't catch it. So, but she had a friend over and she's playing, right? And I was like, we're gonna leave in like an hour if you still want to see Mario. And she's just she's like, she really wanted to see it, but she blew it off. She's like, I'll wait for the Blu-ray because she knows it's gonna come out next month. And so rather than fucking, go to the movie that she had been waiting on for fucking days, she just fucking whatever. I'll see it in a couple of weeks or next month. She didn't give a shit. just to fucking goof off with her friend that was over.
Well, the thing is, these things aren't events anymore. Like when we were kids, you got to run in the theater, and then that was it. You never got to see the movie again. There was no VHS. There, maybe you'd get to see a heavily edited version on TV a couple years later.
HBO 4 years later.
Yeah, they cut all the good stuff out.
Yeah, and there was a buzz to things because everything was word of mouth, and it wasn't getting lost in it wasn't a raindrop in a fucking storm. Something Escape from New York came out in '82, whatever the fuck it was, and it's everybody's talking about it, and everybody's like, oh, go see it. But it's now these days, even if something's good, there's so much fucking shit flying around, and there's so many distractions, and
well, because you're going to get a round two, you're going to get a second chance to see this movie, or a third chance, or fourth chance. Yeah,
that's why the Maverick was such an anomaly. I mean, there hasn't been a movie that's had that kind of buzz in 10 years, easy.
Well, you know what else I was just thinking when you were talking, Chris, is that that we got to give credit to Marvel for this. Like when they first launched that franchise, and the way each one of those movies related to the other one, they did turn that into a must-see. That was like the old, if you think about it, it's a miracle in this day and age that they were able to pull that off. They did it for 10 years.
It's a miracle that they got the support to do what they did, because what they did was basically fucking do superhero soap operas, which is what superhero comics are. But what's amazing is that that they were backed to do it. They were allowed to do that, and everything connected, and everything was cohesive. And every fucking movie affected the other movie, but was still all standalone fucking items,
And even a bad movie and an okay movie was wedged in between two successful movies.
Right, and it would be propped up.
What's amazing is they had the commitment from the fucking studio to do that, and that's where Warner Brothers has always fucked itself. They suck at that. They never fucking get behind these things. They don't fucking believe in them at the end of the day. They don't follow through. Yeah.
Do you think it'll be different now with Zaslav? Because Zaslav wants to make money.
Fuck Zaslav and fuck DC and fuck Warner Brothers.
Chris knows some shit.
I'm asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I love this new Chris.
This is the other thing that Marvel did.
Wear that shirt more often, Chris.
This is the other thing that Marvel did that was genius. Is all of their movies had these certain beats. They had a style.
Yes.
And every one of these movies, and all the kids who were like 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, when Iron Man came out, by the time Endgame came out, they were in their 20s. They're adults now. They got money. So they've created an audience with these films that will continue to go see them, at least in some form.
Yeah.
Going forward. And now the problem is the quality took a serious nosedive after friggin' Endgame.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and that's what the show.
That whole second wave was
some of its choices, right?
The bad choices,
right. Like there are way better villains to sort of think about creating a whole phase around. If you're looking for the next Thanos, then you didn't.
It's not Kang.
No,
Kang's just too weird.
Did anybody see Ant-Man though? The third one.
I did.
Yeah. They made Kang more like Iron Man and less like, I'm going to manipulate time and do all this weird shit that's not cool for superhero stories.
Well, not only that, but they completely missed the point of Kang, where they did that whole thing where at the end they what did you go? All of them. If every Kang showed up, they would try to kill each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the whole thing with Kang is like there can only be one. It's like the Highlander, man. It's like, and the only reason the three main guys, Immortus and Ramatut and King Prime, the only reason they work together is because they're all so powerful. They know that unless something happens, they can't kill each other. So and even when they do work together, they're always plotting and scheming against each other. So this whole thing where they had the giant theater full of Kangs, it should have been a bloodbath. So tell me you don't understand who this character is without telling me you don't understand who this character is.
He needs almost like his own movie.
Yeah.
Sort of shoehorn him in there.
Yeah, and Randy, you're 100% correct. Dr.
Oh my
Doom
gosh, I was just going to say that.
Dr. Doom should be the next big bad.
I was just about to say that. As you guys were talking, I was thinking all this what was it, 4 and 5, phase 4 and 5, they just feel like they're killing time.
They're placeholders.
Like if you followed up Endgame with the Fantastic Four and then introduced
forget it. It's still be rolling.
You had the same creative people and you had the same tone and all that stuff. You could have continued it for another 10 years. Yeah. But instead, you guys fucked around, couldn't get your shit together.
More representation.
Put out the Eternals, Shang-Chi, all these other things. Those are movies you could have done if you wedged them between successful movies. But those aren't movies that you start phase 4 with.
No,
dude, that's the thing. Like,
I didn't see
Cosmic
that
Marvel.
I do like that.
Hang on. What'd you say, Chris?
Shang-Chi is a character I do like, but I didn't see that movie.
I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was a typical It was a typical Hong Kong action film.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, exploring the Cosmic Marvel through the eyes of the Fantastic Four is 10 years.
Yes.
Of stories. Just doing that.
If they wanted to course correct, you know what I would do? The next movie, I would do a Fantastic Four movie. Start off with that scene with the Council of Kangs, and all of a sudden a freaking bomb goes off.
Yeah.
And out of the bomb walks Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom, yeah.
And he just looks at it like there's like, all of this is now mine.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're like, holy crap, who's this dude? And then you go from there.
It's funny because I remember, and I don't really like this guy. What was Joss Whedon? You know, but he said that about like the first couple seasons of Buffy, and because it's just nonstop, just idea after idea. Like it just, if you watch the first couple seasons, it's pretty good. It's just kind of nonstop. And he said we had ideas and we just wanted to make sure that we could get them in before we got canceled, right? So they were ambitious. They only thought they had a small amount of time, right? So they just threw everything in and they were excited and they just kept it moving, right? And it's kind of like, you know, I mean, Chris, this is going to be a nod of the hat, like Spider-Man, like the first year of Spider-Man, like just nonstop villain, nonstop shit, just being hammered at you, and it's all great stuff. And the thing is, what the Marvel Universe did was in that phase 4 and even going into phase 5, they forgot that. They didn't do that. They just thought that they could rest on their laurels, that they could do an Eternals and they could do these other movies, and that somehow they were going to be able to sustain an audience. But they couldn't, you know?
Yeah. Well, Loki.
I'm sorry.
Loki said it all. Loki said it all. In the first episode, they shit on the Infinity Stones. And my wife isn't a comic book fan, but she likes the movies. And she said, wait a minute. We just spent the last 10 years learning that the Infinity Stones and Thanos is awesome. And now you guys have shit on everything that you did for a decade. It's almost like they didn't want to have anything to do with the comic books. And they're like, Marvel Studio exists on its own. Screw the comic books. We can write this without the comics. And that's what phase 4 and 5 have been. It's been a bunch of writers thinking they're better than the comics.
It's the same thing as the people that are writing.
People not knowing the fucking material too. I mean, that's a huge problem.
They don't respect it.
Or here's the thing, and don't care to know it.
Yeah. No,
they don't.
They're not getting paid.
And you can't fucking learn it. And I've said this a million times. Comic books is such a a thing unto itself. It's not film. It's not novels. Comic books are comic books, and you have to fucking grow up in it to really know it. And it has to be something that's fucking that's in your blood to do it right. And you can't fucking learn it late. You can't come in after the fact and fucking just go, oh well, I could do that. Yeah, it's just fucking not going to happen. But and it's certainly just to go back 5 minutes to what we were talking about before. But like you can't fucking half-ass it. And in this genre, enthusiasm sells. That's why fucking Rob Liefeld does well. It's why Todd McFarlane did well. Enthusiasm for the fucking medium, overrides fucking even skills sometimes. It's like if you are fucking into it, but it's just true. You know what I mean? It's like if you fucking, really are just like, nah, man, this is my thing, and I'm gonna fucking do it. Fuck all of you, and this, watch this, and watch me go, is will fucking work in this industry. It just, it's one of those things where it just carries over to the reader or to the viewer, and the opposite is true too. If you have people that fucking, or condemn the material or fucking shit on it or just doing it for a paycheck, that fucking always shows. It always shows in the work, be it film or a fucking comic book,
Yeah, and that's exactly with the theme that we're talking about. Like Zack Snyder, obviously, is that guy. Those people that put together She-Hulk, they were those types. I mean, they have contempt for the material and for the fan base.
Yeah.
Like, it shows. And how do you get anybody to like something when the creators hate you? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even make any sense,
Yeah.
But that's what's going on. And Zack Snyder might think that he's smarter than the material, but he's not smarter than the people. And good luck. I think he can establish a tone to things, but I don't think that he's going to be that successful moving forward. And I'm holding out hope for James Gunn. But after this new Guardians, with the stuff that I heard with Rocket and things like that, it sounds like some people were even saying it's what is that? Something porn, like butcher porn or something
Torture
like that,
porn.
like torture porn. Like it's like it's crazy. And the thing is, my wife and I talk about these things a lot because she was looking forward to seeing the Guardians, but as soon as word came out, she's like, why would I want to see a beloved character tortured?
Yeah.
And then we talk about it this way, and we say, we already knew he was tortured. You know what I mean? Like it was very apparent that you saw the scars in the first movie. He had a chip on his shoulder that you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
We knew that he was outside the norm. He wasn't the frickin' raccoon, like he said. He was something beyond that. So you knew that whatever got him to that point was tortured. Like, it was horrible what happened to him. So we don't really need to move any further with that. And then I hear some people reviewing like, we needed to see that. You needed to understand. And I'm like, I don't think you really need to understand. And also you need to understand your fan base. This is a beloved character. Kids are going to this movie, as we were talking about tone. There has to be a tone. And I think they forgot about who their audience was. I don't think they made a fun movie. I think that James Gunn's ego got involved, and he wanted to do this stuff, regardless of who was watching. He was going to do this rocket scene.
Is the Passion of the Christ the fucking right movie for kids? It's like,
Hey, Art, let's do like one last round of promotions, man.
I mean, kids should learn about Jesus.
Yep. I dropped all the links in the chat. Promote your stuff, guys.
Well, just before that, I got to tell a quick story based on what Chris said. My daughter, in the second grade, we got her into a Christian school, and this horrible teacher decided, without the parents' knowledge, that she was going to play the Passion of Christ. And my daughter cried. So she goes, "What they did to that poor man?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Everybody was so angry at that teacher. It's crazy. Yeah. So there is tone. Like, you can't do certain things and expect people to like it. So I don't hold out much hope for James Gunn. Just to wrap it up with the James Gunn thing, moving forward with the DC universe. To me, after this rocket scene, that I heard about, it's going to be the same thing. We're just trading Zack Snyder for James Gunn. They're like the same people, They're the same people. Yeah. So Todd, what do you got promotion wise?
I'm just still doing cards and working on that comic I talked about. But I did some cards that are way out of my league. Like, I had to look every time I did one of these cards. I had to learn a little bit about the character because I don't know them. But I did some anime manga cards.
Cool.
Okay, I'm trying.
These are My Hero Academia.
Uh-huh.
And it's really popular.
Yeah.
But I have no knowledge of who they are.
Yeah. There was someone in the chat talking about that. So
yeah. And I did them really colorful because traditionally these comics are like in black and white.
Yeah.
And I think they need color.
I know that character cries a lot.
Yeah, check out the other.
Those look awesome.
He's got like cannon. He has like cannon hands.
There we go.
No, it's just a glove. It's not a cannon.
Yeah, I know.
No. Oh, that's the other guy. Well, where's that guy? Hold on.
Oh, you're talking about Bakugo with the grenades on his arms.
Yeah.
Katsu. What do I do with him?
Yeah, we're weaving out now.
Yeah.
But anyways, you guys, Todd posts this stuff up on his Twitter and on his Facebook, so you can get all these shots there. So check that stuff out. He's got one more. Let's see this.
Here's the cannon.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, there's Bakugo.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, cool.
Who's the sweetie?
Is that who's that supposed to be?
Who's the lady?
That's young Betty Page.
Oh shit!
Oh, very nice.
Non-Betty Page.
The white women.
Young.
Oh, I thought you said
before she did the whole bangs thing.
Oh, okay. So Clint, what do you got for us, man?
I got Superiors. It is live right now on Indiegogo. The links are in the chat and in the description. You need that direct link to find it. You can also find the links. I post a ton of art on my Twitter, just at Clint Olinsky on Twitter. We're live. Sunday night is the 30-day closeout. I will be extending and going the full 60 days. So check out the Superiors, superheroes. If you love superhero comics, Avengers, Justice League from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's kind of the vibe I'm going with the Superiors, and it's just kind of my love letter to superhero comics.
And it looks fucking great.
No, thank you.
Awesome,
yeah, it does.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's it's I love the big titty comics, but that's just to get attention to people to buy the Superiors from me.
You can have both.
I think I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna do one of one and one of the other because it brings more people in. It's like it's marketing 101. It's like sell.
Guys, superiors need they need our help, guys. This is another one of the books that's basically been shadow banned either by choice or by accident, and word of mouth. So share that link out on all your social media. Talk about it. Let's help get them to 200 sub. 200.
Appreciate it, guys.
So, well, let's give some love to Death Raider.
Oh,
the new
Death Hunter. Get it right.
Oh, come on.
That's our new name for you.
It's not shadow banned, but if you you can find it on Indiegogo. I also have it listed in watches, not on comic books, so it wouldn't be shadow banned. But we are in demand, and we now have a Death Raider T-shirt, and the T-shirt says "It's time to fuck shit up," which is his catchphrase. And it's in demand, but I kept all the perks. All the perks are still there, and in fact, like I just said, I just added a T-shirt perk. So I'm jamming on the pages, and it could definitely use some more backers because that's just the logistics of the cost of printing, coloring, shipping. That would realistically that would leave me with 30 days to draw the entire book, and I've been working on it since November. So it is a labor of love, and there will be a Death Raider Volume 2. There might be another book squeezed in before that.
Clint, you gotta list your book under fucking watches.
That's what when he just said that, I was like, because I've been in my head trying to figure out how to get around this thing, and I'm like,
give it a go, see what happens.
Just don't listen to your comment.
Hey, get like some of those really cheap like $10 watches. And you get a free one of these when you buy this book for $35.
There you go.
Well, Ethan talked about how he didn't get shadow banned when he was selling the clothing line, the hats and the shirts. So I said, well, F this. I won't list it as comics. I listed it as books in watches.
Or just add a T-shirt onto
Collected
it and have
art
it in the T-shirt section too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
find it in the comic book section if you typed in Death Raider.
If you type in Death Raider, it comes up.
But
So,
is it in the listings of comics? Like if you scroll to comics, is it there?
I have no idea. I've never looked.
I will take.
So you just banned yourself.
Well, sure, because most of the promotion is me on Twitter and
So you
here on
preemptively
YouTube.
banned yourself from the comic section.
No, I don't think so.
You
because
kicked yourself before they could kick you.
No, because IGG sends me emails saying 32% of the traffic was through IGG or whatever. So I didn't get banned.
It's a lie.
No.
It's a lie. It's all.
What are you doing, Rob? I'm kicking my ass. Can I get
No, it's not shadow banned. It comes up.
Yeah.
So it's in the comic section.
Yep. I just typed in Death Raider in search and it popped up.
Yeah.
Under
That's
all
what
categories.
That's what I said. Yeah. See, I'm in all categories now, even technology.
You outsmarted us.
Yeah, nice.
You're welcome.
And it's trending.
And it's trending. Ooh, it's
Wait,
trending.
it needs to be a lot higher to be trending. What are you teasing me?
No,
the heading I looked under was automatically set for trending. So
I remember
cool.
Kickstarter wasn't based on sales. It was just based on whatever they wanted. So you could trend, but not necessarily based on a number.
Somebody
amount.
likes me.
They might like
likes
you.
me. Yeah,
they like the new
that's great.
T-shirts.
Yeah, new T-shirts look cool.
Yeah.
They do. They look really good.
Yeah.
All right, Chris Wozniak, what do you got, man?
I was could have been like
Got
a
a
week
lawsuit.
away from finishing my new project. I got a brand new project you guys haven't seen. I got exactly 12 pages left, and I'm taking the approach of I'm going to finish my projects before I put them out into the funding world. So I put Penelope Powerhouse on hold, and I have something that's almost done. And because first of all, with Penelope, I just don't want to commit to a fucking 100-page project, and if I don't know, what it's going to make, or I wanted to do things that were, stuff that I can get done on a regular basis, like comics that I can finish in 2 months, 3 months at the outset.
Smart.
Smart. And also, being new at this, I want my, my audience, whatever that's going to be, to know that, okay, the book is fucking done. Before you put up a penny, you're going to get it. It's, this way we could have like reviews from other pros, and, you get an idea of what you're going to get. It's not like I'm talking about it. Or, so Full Blown Psychosis, which is my company, that's going to be our approach from now on, which is we're going to finish projects before we put them up for funding. So, and, I'll announce this in like 3 weeks, and like I said,
Nice.
I could have been within pages of fucking being done, but I had Batman Discovery last couple of weeks. That was, it was fucking ridiculous. I had to read through fucking 700 fucking Batman tweets. Like that.
I mean, it has improved your humor, Chris.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
fuck those people.
saying.
Fuck DC. Fuck Zack. Fuck, they're fucking scumbag thieves and pricks. And Matt Reeves did not write that fucking story. He's full of shit. And, and fuck all of those people. They got billions of dollars. Maybe they'll fucking win. I don't give a fuck.
Who's that guy? Is it Michael Urslin?
Michael Uslan stole my story and fucking took my name off of it and gave it to Reeves. And that's exactly what happened.
You know what? I've been watching like documentaries on Batman, the first one with Keaton and Returns, and that guy is all over it. And I used to just think, oh, yeah, he's a very knowledgeable Batman guy. And now because of you, Chris, I'm like, fucking scumbag. Every time I see him, because he's friends on Facebook, so I see his posts, I'm just like,
he's a shyster.
Yeah. Grifter.
Pedro,
yo,
what do you got?
Okay, so guys, I'm working really hard on the classes.
Okay, we're not done. We're done listening to the brown guy. Okay, let's move on.
So you're working hard on your glasses?
Wow, Bob. Wow.
That was almost racist.
I think I killed Chris.
You know what? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
so
my
Pedro
God.
he's going to be teaching animation classes. You guys should check it out. He's online. If you can spell his name.
And
Not too Bob.
And he just dropped
is
dead.
Pedro gonna pull a T. Franklin?
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna get a wheelchair, Bob. Okay. I'm gonna put a T. Franklin on you.
Hey Pedro,
Really
this
hard.
is,
What's that?
hey Pedro, this is for you.
Oh,
Thank you.
there we go.
Thank
Pedro,
you.
that's a great idea. I need a wheelchair because my character's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, so
I should have
yeah,
done
guys,
that from the beginning.
Yeah. I'm working on a horror anthology. I can't really say that too much about it, but it's 3 short stories. I'm already done with one. Working on the second one, and working on Waifu Sankaiju. So, and Tropical Magic's the Second Chance campaign. Go check it out, guys, on Find My Comic and Kickstarter. So yeah, that's all that's happening.
Wow.
Is that all right, Bob? Should I shut up now?
Well, I'm
Pedro,
sorry,
do you have a
I-
website where all this stuff we can follow?
Just
No,
follow me on
people
Twitter,
can go
man.
find it for him. And we ain't
Yeah.
gonna post anything.
Follow me on Twitter. I post regularly on Twitter with
Okay, what's
all
your
things that-
Twitter handle? So everyone
at
knows.
Angilla.
What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it more complicated for us, Pedro.
Yeah, I will. It's in Spanish. Actually, it's not Spanish. It's like
Well,
it's
you asked
a
for it.
dialect. It's a dialect.
Oh,
We always
Remember
we always
What does
spend too much
Anguilla
time.
mean? What does
You always-
Anguilla mean in Spanish?
What's that?
What does Anguilla mean in Spanish?
Anguilla.
you know what it means.
Eel. Means eel.
Ill?
Yeah, the animal. Eel.
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 Which you know what
I
that
was
means.
I was just about to say we always spend a little too much time with Pedro.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It always
Translation,
will
white
come
man.
off. It'll always come off the rails at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, it's equity.
There you go. That's equity.
We're just
we
trying
love
to
you.
make
We love you,
reparations.
Pedro.
Yeah, no, you do.
There's a book that came out that I can talk about a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You go first.
No,
Yeah,
go,
well,
go,
we're gonna
Art.
end. We're gonna come back on you, Todd.
All right.
All right. So this is Man vs. Machine, Volume 2, black and white. In a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be black and white. So thank you guys so much. We are at 1,484 backers, still
Holy
getting
cow.
backers. It's so awesome to still see people coming in and backing this book. I want to thank everybody for the support on this campaign. The only reason this book exists is because of you and your belief in myself and this IP. So I do appreciate it, and I am going to show off some new stuff. If you guys don't mind.
Oh, I need some new textures.
By
Art.
Art gets the big bucks. Let's see it.
Let's do this. Boom. Share that. Pull the lever. Pull the lever. This page right here, this is work in progress. So this is the page I'm working on right now. And I mainly just wanted to show off the explosion.
That's a really good one.
That's a sexy explosion.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Art. Where's the guy walking away from the explosion?
And
There-
so-
Look at
Okay,
the person.
okay,
There's
wait,
someone
you-
standing
okay.
in it.
Yeah, look.
Oh, there he is, right there.
There
There's
is. There is a
photo
little
right there.
person. Yeah.
You're
watch
walking
this.
away like this,
Oh.
like
Okay, watch how.
cool guys walk
see.
away from explosions.
There they are, right there.
There you go.
And he's carrying her. Oh, he's carrying a chick over his arm.
Oh,
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
love.
That's
Yeah,
the best.
you do.
That's the
Just
best
about
way to
to
walk away
spank
from
her on the
explosion.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
That's what the caveman carried. I like
Yeah.
it.
I think it looks pretty
He's
good
like,
for
I left
something.
my cell phone in there, and he's like,
Ah.
"Shut up, bitch!"
No.
We
My
need to go-
iPhone.
We need to go back.
Hi, Poppy.
Hi, Poppy.
So yeah, I should have this finished tonight, actually.
Awesome, dude.
So I got
Wow.
2 more panels. They're pencil, and I just need to ink them up. And so we're starting to get more color work in as well. So
Wow.
Fire
You do
effect,
great
that's-
hair.
That's a cookie. Who's your colorist?
That's-
Give him that shout.
Atmosphere. I love it.
yeah, I'll tell you guys in the green room.
Haha.
No
Nice.
one else needs
That's
to
sweet.
know.
Looks
Nobody
nice.
knows.
The way her face is colored is like spot on. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah,
One
speaking of
thing
the light,
I will say
nicely.
one thing, Art. Colonel Sanders back there in that second panel looks like he's on fire.
He does
is
look,
on fire.
yeah, he does look like he's got a little flame coming from
He's
his
getting
shoulders.
extra crispy.
Gray is
Yeah.
Colonel Sanders now. Wow, nice.
Bob is so racist tonight.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Wow.
he is.
And he has,
Well, the Amish are.
and he
known
has
for
something
racism.
Well,
against
I
Kentucky
don't-
now. It's just like,
I don't know if
Very
anyone
racist.
caught it, but Art called it machine. So
Machine.
I mean, you know,
Oh,
like,
man versus
Man,
Machine.
man,
Machine.
machine
"Where's
interface.
the machine?"
I'm
I
drunk.
caught it though. I heard you.
I heard you hear everything.
Say something about Uncle Yi, Bob.
Uncle Yi, he's
Uncle Yi.
Chinese. And he's
Uncle
racist.
Yi.
He's
Well, you know
racist.
what they say about those Chinese? They are shifty,
Dude, my daughter's
Oh,
But they own everything.
and well, you know, we Amish are Dutch, and we're right next to the Germans. So
Yeah, exactly.
dude, the Dutch own more shit in America than the Chinese.
yeah,
Yeah, that
really?
Mhm.
That can't
That's
be
not true. There's
No, it is. They're just better at PR.
I heard it on the internet, so it has to be.
It has to be true. Yeah.
Do
I
they
just tweeted it, so we
Do
know.
they
I
it's
just
real.
tweeted it and Bob just read it. Bob, you
All
need to
right.
start getting your
I
news
just
from
tweeted it,
somewhere
and
else.
I'm my own source. Yeah.
Take us
All right.
home, guys.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for the last 2 hours. This is Pontificators. What?
Didn't Todd have something he wanted to show us?
Yeah. Hey, what happened to Todd?
Todd fell asleep.
Yeah,
Todd, are you alive?
Todd,
Wake him up. Wake him up. Come on.
All right, Todd.
you have
Let me
something for us.
present- hey, let me share this with you. So you
Do
can
it.
see the cover.
What are you going to share?
Hold on, it's not coming up. Whatever.
Oh my
It's a
god.
dick pic, isn't it?
It's not
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah, it's a kyak.
Sounds like
That's
a
what
lady.
she said.
It's a vague kyak.
Oh, here it is.
Look at all those markers.
Yeah.
Is that markers or taffy? It looks like taffy in the back.
It
It's
looks like
markers.
The
Jeez.
more markers you
All
have,
right, here it is.
Impression.
This book just came out this week. It's called The Inkle,
Inkal.
The Dying Star. Oh my god,
Oh, this is Jordan.
it's great.
Oh, the Mobius. Yes.
With Jodorowsky. That
Is this old stuff or is this new art?
This is
It's new.
Oh, okay.
They're using the old characters, so.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Todd, did you do this?
No.
No, this is
Why are you showing it then? You should.
Oh, because I
promote
like
your
to turn
stuff.
people on to good books that are out there.
There you go.
Oh.
But who's gonna
You
outdo
know.
Mobius?
What's that?
Who's gonna outdo Mobius?
Oh, it looks really good. This book.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is he
I'm,
dead?
I'm so glad I went before Todd because I don't think I'd want to follow this up.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, how much stuff did Travis do for them? Did he do a full book?
Did like 4 pages.
I know that's what I kind of
2 years. 2 years. 4
No,
pages.
he did a full book, and then started another one, and they were like, "Dude, it'll take you 4 years."
Yeah.
You know?
He worked on Meta Barons, so he didn't.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah,
this.
that's the one he did for humanoids, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how big a book was that? Was that 48
Nice.
pages?
It was 4 pages.
Kind
Yeah.
Cool.
I've only ever seen like 4 pages of art from.
What's the name of this? What's the name of this book again, Todd?
The Inkle, is
Okay.
that how you pronounce it? Inkle? Inkle?
Inkal.
Inkal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check it out,
Dying
guys.
Star. This is, you know who this is, by the way, because I
What's
didn't realize it at first.
What's that?
He did Shadow Man, like John Hunt or Jason Hunt or something like that.
The original Shadow Man?
No, it was like a after they revamped
Okay.
it. And he's done other things, but I didn't like this thing he did with this, like his style is a little bit different. It's a lot more polished and less sketchy.
Screw those guys. They're not on Pontificators.
Yeah, they don't get promotion.
Yeah, screw them.
Yeah.
You know what?
You did
Back,
remind me that-
back Death Raider.
Yeah, in black and
Death
white.
Hunter.
And Death Hunter.
Yeah,
Death
Hunter.
Hunter. Yeah.
It's
Wait,
just
And,
good
and
book.
Death Rider.
Is Death Hunter? Is that the title of one of Frazetta's paintings? Or is that
Death
Death
Dealer.
Dealer.
Death
Death
Dealer.
Dealer.
That's a good book too.
Do
You
that
can
too.
back
I
that.
think you're thinking of Death Liquor.
Mm.
Oh wait, I'm already printing
Liquor.
the T-shirt.
I didn't even know her.
Death Liquor.
Yeah, Death Dumper. All right. We'll back it.
Watch brand.
Hey, Bob, come on, Bob.
I did. Dude, I've done it like 5 times.
Keep doing
Come on,
it.
cut it. Come on, come
All
on.
right.
Hey, wait,
guys
wait,
have a
Art,
rash
before you
on your
go,
neck?
fuck?
Oh,
Don't you have like Whitney in a bikini page or something like that?
Whitney
Yeah.
Houston.
Whitney from
all cracked out.
It was for the summer swimsuit Comicsgate book, right?
There's been a request. Somebody wants to see that.
Oh, don't show it, Art. Show just her head.
I don't know if I can find it. You guys talk amongst yourself.
You're putting Art on the spot.
okay,
now.
so,
That's not
Hey,
nice.
Art, can you dig through your 300 files to find this one image?
Did you,
last
in my
second?
slow computer.
Did you guys hear that they're remaking Matlock and they're gender swapping him for Kathy Bates?
Oh, thank God.
Is that cable?
Who didn't
I don't
like
watch
Why
cable
don't you just
anyway.
bend somebody else?
Leave it alone.
What's that?
Leave
Why
it
couldn't you
alone.
just bend somebody else? I mean, why Matlock?
Why, dude? It's Hollywood. What are you asking me for, man?
Couldn't
You
they
know
just
the answer to that.
CGI?
Because the fans of Matlock are demanding a fucking reboot.
Yeah,
And all the fans of Matlock are dead.
just like
Is
they
it
wanted,
Oh.
the Queen Latifah to play the Equalizer.
Ooh, yeah,
Is
that-
it me, or did
Are
you
you
guys see
kidding?
the Scooby-Doo Doberman and 3 black characters and 1 white character? Anyone see this?
What?
No.
Mystery Incorporated. They're gonna reboot Mystery
God.
Incorporated.
They're bringing back Rockford Files, and Rockford is going to be played by
Oh,
Kathy Griffin.
See,
Nice.
that is very
Great
nice.
job, Art. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
you've got a future in the biz.
Yeah, you do.
You're gonna go far, kid.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's she drinking?
She's drinking a white song. That's
It's not a Bud Light.
Looks
It's
like
not a Bud
Skol.
Light. I'll tell you
Not
that.
about life.
It's a
White Claw?
It's a Bud White.
Oh,
It's a white bud.
End this
Who's
stream now,
who's
goddammit.
shooting at her?
someone's getting sued.
She's just sitting out there in the sun, and somebody was like shooting at her.
Some damn
Trying to.
robot.
Actually, they were shooting at him. He was like, "Dude, get out of the freaking picture!"
Stick it to the bots.
That's really nice. I like
Nice.
That was just a pool cleaner. She
Yes,
didn't
yes,
really go.
Randy.
That was the
TD
robotic pool boy.
But
that. Got out of hand. He was getting a little handsy.
He was
The
getting a
big
bit
gun
antsy.
just shoots chlorine. So
bro, take us home, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks to
Let's go with
everybody
that
in the
message.
chat. Oh my gosh,
Sweet Jesus,
Amen
man,
to
just
that.
get this freaking stream.
I'm just gonna click out, man.
Such a god.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks
everyone.
thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us for the last 2 hours. Thanks to all my Pontificator brothers. We will see you next Wednesday on another Pontificators. Take care.
Chris, give us an FDC.
Oh, fuck.